roar. Two wild yinzers kicking through the door. Loud like a jag-off at a pins game fight. Brace yourself, this ride ain't polite. Two Dum Yinzers, loud and proud. Heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. Tales from the burg with a hint of mayhem. Pierogi powered, nothing can constrain them. Knocking back stories like an icy cold brew. You never know what these two might spew. Two Dum Yinzers, loud and proud. Heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. From the bug with a hint of mayhem. Pierogi powered, nothing can constrain them. Knocking back stories like an icy cold brew. You never know what these two might spew. Two Dum Yinzers, loud and proud. Heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice. Rivers collide where the laughs always flow. Black and gold thunder everywhere they go. The madcap kings breaking every mold. With two Dum Yinzers, the stories don't get old. Two Dum Yinzers, loud and proud. Heads in the clouds, voices in the crowd. Chaos brewing, they don't play nice. Hold on to your iron and grab your prime anti-slice.
Hello, 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 hello. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Welcome back to the show, everybody. This is the two Dum Yinzers. This is episode 997. I want to say to everybody today, good day to you, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you may be tuning in from. Glad to see you today. Friday. It's Friday, heading into the weekend, Mike. The weekend and then a few days next week. Then we will be hitting the big 1,000. Big things coming up just within the next week. As after this, big things lead into the next 7 months, if you can believe that. So we got a lot coming up this month, or I'm sorry, this may be the last week of mediocrity, if you will, on the show. Next week, again, we're heading on our break, coming back right around the time of camp, right at the beginning. And then we go into preseason. Then we go into regular season. Then we go into playoffs. And then we go to the Super Bowl and all of the above. So, again, for us here at the show, this is the last week of it being off-season. I'm sorry, go ahead, Mike.
I was going to say last week of the off-season.
Last week of the off-season, basically. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there. I thought, but I'm just excited today. I don't know what got into me. I feel like very energetic today.
Well, that's good. It's Friday. Guess you need a lot of energy to get through the day, to get to the weekend, and then it's here, guys. Lots of things to get into today. As a matter of fact, we do have a lot to get into. A few things as we're starting, Mike. I seen yesterday, and I guess it's been out for a while, but I just seen it for the first time, and I seen the trailer for the first time yesterday. And I'm going to be completely 100% honest with you. You know I'm not a movie guy. However, Super Troopers 3 is coming out in August. This could be a movie that not only do I watch, I could actually go see Super Troopers 3. And this is basically how my thing with movies go. I don't really sit down and watch movies, but every once in a while, you get a movie that you're really into and you could really go for, and I will. I'll go to the movies and watch Super Troopers 3. I've seen 2 different trailers yesterday, and I'm going to be honest, Mike, it looks fucking hilarious. Remember Carl Ramrod?
Carl Ramrod.
Well, Farva's getting married to his sister in this movie, getting to Rami, and Ram, yeah, and Rami is trying to figure out a way to get his sister not to marry Farva, and as I said, you start to watch it all play out, and so far the scenes I've seen on the trailers are hilarious. I promise you, I will go see Super Troopers 3 when it does come out. Mike, don't even tempt me, because I will do it.
Dude, I haven't seen any of the trailers yet. I saw that it was coming out. I didn't realize it's coming out that quick. I'm excited for it. The second one made me laugh. I thought for a sequel, it held up well and was funny. I think this one's going to be just as good. I want them to make a sequel to Beer Fest.
And they may.
Yeah, they may. It's been a long time, but Super Troopers 3, I am here for it. I hope Brian Cox, the old sergeant or whatever he is back in it. He's always great with those guys.
He is in Super Troopers. I do want to tell you that he is in this next Super Troopers.
Okay, good. Yeah. That's what I was. He likes doing those movies. He does all these like series, TV shows, and movies. He's like, yeah, the Super Troopers. That's for me. He's like, that's the fun shit. The other stuff pays the bills. This is for me to have fun.
How old is he now? He's got to be old as hell.
He's in his 70s.
Easy, yeah. Because you figure he was kind of old. I mean, he was older than everybody else in the first one, and that was a long time ago. So, but again, August 7th, looking forward to that. Also, Mike, coming up, when is it coming up? Next Thursday through Sunday, we have Picklesburg. In Pittsburgh. We got people coming in from all over for Picklesburg, and I had a great idea, and it's just too bad that Derpy's too much of a putz. And the thing is, we really need a putz for this idea, but he's too much of a putz. I thought, wouldn't it be cool, since he is the Stinky Pickle Award winner, wouldn't it be fitting if we send him down to the Pickle Fest with a pickle and walk around and ask random questions to people with a pickle?
Yes.
Or remember how Tom Green, he went around asking people questions with a microphone with a turd on top?
Yeah.
Put a turd on the pickle and have him walking around just asking people random questions, and not hooked up to anything. They'll see that it's just a pickle in his hand.
His dad can be the cameraman.
His dad can be the cameraman.
Okay, Derpy, we need you. I can't believe I'd ever say that, but we need you, bud.
And like I said, he's just too much of a putz for even this. I don't know.
And Brian Cox is 80 years old.
Speaking of that, I mentioned yesterday Bob Dylan. We asked if he was still alive. He is 85. I did look into that. Bob Dylan is still alive. Apparently, they exhume him and roll him out for a couple hours during these concerts. Mike, Bob Dylan, again, 85 years old. Finch is going to be heading to that concert on Sunday.
2 new candidates for the Death Pool. I don't want to see him go.
Finch and Bob Dylan?
I didn't say it. But hey, if it helps the show, Finch, you got to take one for the team.
A couple more things I do want to say before we get rolling. I do want to say big, huge, humongous, ginormous thank you to Mekhi Chavez yesterday for sitting down and talking to us.
Yes.
Mike, we have a big football game this weekend here in Pittsburgh, and it has nothing to do with our Steelers. Mekhi Chavez, who was here yesterday, is going to be leading the Pittsburgh Passion in the battle against hated rival DC Divas. These two teams run neck and neck every season. They end up playing each other in the playoffs every season, and this year is no different. Tomorrow, if you can get down there to Char Valley High School, it's a 6 o'clock start. This is the National Conference Championship game between the Passion and the DC Divas. The winner goes on to Canton, Ohio for the championship in a couple of weeks. Big game. It's going to be on ESPN Plus. I'm sure on YouTube as well. Do check out and support Mekhi and the Pittsburgh Passion. Mike got 1 win away from getting back to the championship game. I think they got it.
So do I. You saw the intensity in the interview. You saw the focus. Like she said, she's like, I wanted to play the game yesterday. That's how ready they are, and that's a good sign. And it's not like overconfidence either. It's just confidence within yourself and your team that we can complete any task thrown before us. I can't wait. And Cody had a good time with the interview too.
Yeah, I saw that. Cody had a really good time.
Cody had a great time.
And also, I don't know if he's going to stop in today or not, but I did notice, I looked in a little bit on Al Bundy's, what happened with him. Apparently, he was undrafted in 1969, went to tryouts, realized that he was up against Mean Joe Green at that position. That was what he played at Youngstown State, was defensive tackle. The competition was so heavy at that position, they put him at outside linebacker. and made him try out at linebacker. He was learning on the go. Obviously, wasn't good enough to get into the defensive line. Did not make it. He then got told by Chuck Noll, "Hey, you could go over and play in Philadelphia. They'll take you in a tryout." He said, "You know what? Screw it. I'm not really going to do this football thing." It came down to that, and organized crime, apparently at the time in Youngstown, was a big thing. So after his football career was over and he walked away, Al Bundy, Mike, had a choice to go into acting or organized crime. And Ed O'Neill decided to go into acting. Thank God, becomes Al Bundy, and the rest is history. But that is what went down. Like, he literally was up against Mean Joe Green for the position, and it was such a blowout. They actually made him try a different position for his tryout. So,
yeah, I like the options where go try with the Philadelphia Eagles, join the mob, or go acting.
Yeah,
like. Two of those were tough choices. The Philadelphia one, that's just a non-starter. Who wants to go over there? But the acting and being a crime guy up in Youngstown at the time, it might have been more appealing.
It may have been, and we're glad that he did it. We're glad.
Yeah, he made his decision.
And what you got to realize as well, this was before the dynasty era began. So if he would have played with the Steelers, he would have probably fit in just fine. Had it been 1 year earlier and they didn't have Mean Joe and all these players, he could have probably been a Steeler and just had a fine career. But again, going up against him and the others was not so simple. Al Bundy then becomes Al Bundy, and the rest is history. Finally, Mike, the Riverhounds, big game tomorrow night. They did move the time back on that game, Mike. It is a 7:00 start as the Riverhounds host the Loudoun United football team here in Pittsburgh. Tomorrow, 7:00 start. Again, don't forget they did move that time back to 7:00 instead of 6.
Let's go Hounds. Release the Hounds, Smithers.
What'd you say? The Hounds?
Release the Hounds, Smithers.
Release the Hounds, Smithers.
Yes.
Let's go into this, guys. Let's say what's up to everybody. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the Terrible Board. Let's get into it. I want to say hello to everybody today. JPJ is the GOAT. My man Tyrone, always great seeing you in the house. The GOAT is first on the board today, in my opinion. Welcome, Tyrone. Corey, don't drink that. He says, "Hey guys, my app is almost complete. Before it goes live, I'll post a link in here with your permission, of course, so you guys can get an exclusive look at it. We'd appreciate it." Thank you, sir. Absolutely, and good for you, man. Keep up the hard work. Love seeing what Corey's got going on. Tyrone says, "I don't think Muth got snubbed, to be honest. He didn't even have 500 yards last year. Not his fault, but stats are stats, and he wasn't top 10 tight end tier last year." I tend to agree with that. Let's continue a little bit further. I do want to say what's up to Raul. Raul, always great seeing you back on the Terrible Board. Welcome back to the show, Mike. Raul says Steelers made Joe Hayden 2 miles per hour faster by taping his ears back.
That is an early front runner for comment of the day for me. That's tickling my funny bone. That one is damn good.
That was good, Raul. Welcome back, brother. Great to see you as always. Also, I do want to say what's up to Robert. Robert Plummer back on the board. Great to see you, man. He says Heath. Everybody says Heath. That's all we,
If you're a white tight end in Pittsburgh, you are Heath.
That's right. And it all started with Louis Lips, who wasn't a tight end or white back in the day. With the Lou. And it changed and evolved to a tight end chant over time. Let's go right here to Corey. Corey says it's at Tyrone, because stats seem to matter more than anything. LOL for receivers. There needs to be a stat where it says how many times they broke coverage to get open. Also, Corey follows it up by saying, especially on plays, they didn't get the ball thrown to them to show the incompetence of the quarterback and or scheme matching. I don't know. LOL, stats piss me off sometimes.
That's like I've been talking about for a long time now. Stats tell part of the story, and film tells a part of the story too. So they go hand in hand.
Yeah, man. Absolutely. Let's go right here. Let's go to Tyrone. He says, yeah, but Muth wasn't a top. No, he wasn't a top 10. I couldn't agree. I agree with you very much so on that. Not last year anyway. We'll get into all that and who did make the list, who's on the list, and so much more. We have a lot to get into today. Let's go right back here to Ty. Ty says this. I hear you, Corey, that I just don't think Muth played well enough to get it. Like I said, Smith fault. Hope we use him this year. The more he had 486 yards, 4 touchdowns last year. I needed 606 touchdowns this year. Yeah, I think, again, we'll get into all this. I agree with you guys. Let's go to Corey. Corey says, Ty, I think he was even on top 15, was he? There was a couple times he got the ball thrown to him and couldn't hold on, which when you look at the target to catch ratio, it doesn't look good. Tyrone says this. Tyrone says, agree there. Yeah, he had off year. I blame Smith and Jonnu more than Muth, though he will be used better with Mike McCarthy, is what Ty is saying. Corey says this. Corey says, yeah, Arthur Smith was in love with Jonnu and fucked Muth in the process. When you look at it now, it was an even trade for Ramsey. We didn't fleece Miami like we thought. And also Mark Malone. Mark Malone on the board, my man, the myth, the mustache, Mark Malone. Always great seeing you, my friend. You insane bastard. Welcome to the show. As always, Mark, he says Muth is the JPJ of tight ends. Tyrone and Mark never fails. These two are becoming like natural rivals on the board. Gotta love it, guys. Welcome back to the show. Welcome back. This is Friday. We're all trying to inch toward the weekend, getting there a little bit at a time. This is Friday afternoon, 1:04 Eastern Standard Time. Like, we have a lot of stuff to get into today regarding our Pittsburgh Steelers heading into the weekend. And as I said, we will hit episodes 998 on Monday, 999 on Tuesday, and the iconic 1000 on Wednesday. Then after that, we will be off from that Thursday through the next week, and we will be back the following Monday, which is the day before the guys start showing up for camp. We will hit the camp hard on Monday, getting prepared. As I said, the guys will start rolling in that week, and then camp obviously starts a little bit later. But again, this is the last, basically, Mike, the last off week for us. Yeah. For the show, we will hit these 3 shows next week to get the milestone. But after that, it's from here to February. Yeah, there's going to be Pittsburgh. The news will, of course, be fresh a lot more often. A lot of new things coming up each and every day. We can look forward to our new season, which will be season 10 here on the show. Very much looking forward to it, but that's the way the schedule is playing out as of now, just in case anybody was wondering what that's going to look like. So again, Mike, it is the off season. This is generally the slowest week of the year for us. This is next. This is usually when we're on vacation, but you know what? I said we're not getting to that vacation until we get the big 1000.
I think nature took it upon itself to issue that, or to accept that challenge.
It did, and
the universe decided, we're going to see how long we can stretch this out for the boys.
And I figured, you know what, we eventually have, by law of average, we'll eventually get it in, because this week nothing happened. So, knock on wood, if you could find any, nothing happened this week.
Hold on.
Detrimental to the process, and it looks like we should be able to stay on course. But that is what it's looking like right now, guys. Just to give you an update. Let me go right back here to Raul. He says this. It's the 5th Monday of the week, Raul. You couldn't be more right. You could not be more right, my friend. Welcome back, brother. Great to see you here.
Yeah, I've been a day ahead all week. Like, my normal work week is Tuesday through Saturday, but I'm covering for someone, so I didn't work Monday through Saturday. And I am thinking today is Saturday. All day I thought today is Saturday.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck. It's Friday. Some bullshit.
Yeah, it is some shit, man.
Or it's like Raul said, the 5th Monday of the week.
I know. A lot to get into, guys. Let's get into it. I know that the right now, of course, in this off season, the news, we have this Mike. It's Jeremy Fowler. He's doing the positional rankings right now. We did, of course, earlier in the week touch on the running backs, the cornerbacks, the edges. Today, the tight end list came out. We're going to get into that here in just a moment. But I want to talk about something here real quick, Mike. This is something regarding our schedule. I was reading this morning. Per FTN Fantasy Strength of Schedule by using the measurements of DVOA, whatever this is. I don't know. But I'm just going to tell you what it says. Mike, it's talking about the first half of our schedule compared to the second half of our schedule this year. And this is something that we talked about in the past. And I'm going to even say as far back as last year, because the point I'm about to make goes back to last year. And the point that we really tried to push across was Get in when the getting's good. Get your wins when you can. You can't piss around early in the NFL. You have to kind of get off to a good start, find your rhythm fast, and stay on it. And I'm going to give you a reason why. They put a comparison up from the beginning part of our schedule to the second half of our schedule, and listen how it played out, Mike. The Steelers have the easiest first half of the schedule in the NFL. The easiest. Beyond that, they have the 7th most difficult schedule in the second half of the season. They have Atlanta, New England, Cincinnati, Cleveland, Indianapolis, Tampa Bay, New Orleans, and Cleveland again in the first half of the season. Second half of the season, I'm not going to name them all, but you got 2 Baltimore games. You got at Philly, you got at Jacksonville, Denver, Houston. So I think the point that we really tried to push last year, I think that it's even more so this year. While we believe that we have more pieces in place than we had in the past, and we went out and we built this team a little bit more of the offseason and got better. So this, like, I think it holds true just as much now as it did last year. And they took advantage last year. They were able to sit at 5-2 when the Ravens were sitting at 1-5, which put us at a great advantage because you're not battling week by week by week by week, going next one up in the Ravens. And guess what? If you slip, you're down, and now you're in this whole. It's a whole other mindset. Now we have to continue to play, but we're playing from behind. So according to this, Mike, again, the Steelers have the easiest first half of their schedule in the NFL, in the 7th most difficult schedule beyond the half point. So again, Mike, this falls right into that category. Don't F around. And again, sometimes you can't help it. I understand that because it's early, but they got to find their identity. They got to find their identity early. They got to find ways to win football games early because, again, the schedule gets unforgiving once you get to the halfway point. And like I said, the Ravens fell into that trap last year where they had to fight their whole way back all season. Starting 5-1, if you get into a tough streak, nobody has sympathy for you. They're not going to say, "Oh, these guys are 5-1, or 1-5. Let's not play good football." They're like, "Let's go out and follow these guys into the ground. They're down. Let's kick them." So again, Mike, I really feel that this is necessary. You can't start, and again, you can't help it sometimes. I understand that. Yeah. But if you're 3-4 coming out, or 3-3, and you're looking at this second half of the schedule, you're starting to look at things a little differently. And feeling a little less optimistic about your team making that run. Now, at the end of the day, 30 years ago, the Pittsburgh Steelers started 3-4 and ended up going on to the Super Bowl. But again, very rare, as you know, Mike. The early part of the schedule, Steelers easiest in the league. Second half, 7th most difficult.
Yeah, and DVOA is a pretty good analytic metric. Every player is ranked positive or negative, and it it's not perfect, but it's fairly accurate. It gives you an accurate description of how well you're playing, how well the opponents that you're going to be facing are playing, or how poorly you are and how poorly they're playing. So I tend to agree with them. And even just looking at the schedule at itself without any analytics, just going by who the opponents are, yes, it's very easy that first half. And like you always say, you got to stack those ones early. And I think we will. I think we're not going to, like, some of those games would be kind of tough. Like, new coach, new system. I think it's going to take us a few games to get our footing, but we have enough talent to overcome those in the first, 6-7 games. So if we come out of there, 5-2, 6-1, I think that's a fair expectation for the season.
If we're at that point at 6-1, I'm going to be thrilled.
I'll be fucking thrilled.
You know what I mean?
But 4-2, I think would be great as well. Right. It's like when you start, like you're saying, close to 500, 1 over, 1 below, you're going to be in a tough spot because it is going to get harder. On paper, it's going to get harder. And
another thing, Mike, you would think after having a slow start and looking at that tough schedule down the second half, now you have to figure out a way to not play football the way that you did for the first half of the year, because every team you play is going to be difficult. So it's a whole thing. You got to start early.
They have to. And I think by week 4, we'll figure out what this team is, what their philosophy is, how their performance and stuff is, and everything, and go from there. But I think it's going to be a really good team. It's going to be a really good team. Thinking so too, I like the DVO rankings and stuff. I think it's a good tool to use, but that's based off of last year's teams, last year's roster. So every team is new this year. So maybe our first half might be harder than the second half. You never know how these teams are going to perform, but like it holds true. Get these wins in now. Get them in early while everyone's still trying to figure out what kind of team they are, and you're trying to figure out yourself too.
I mean, that's a great point. It was last year's stats. I mean, unfortunately, that's the most
Yeah.
up-to-date information
Yeah.
that we could have. But as of right now,
Yeah.
and here's my thing. I would be a terrible coach, and I'm going to tell you why. Everybody would hate me. I would be in week one or game one or whatever sport it was, and I would be coaching like it was the playoff game. I truly would, because at the end of the day, I always say this about the Pirates in baseball. You see the guys that don't hustle down to first base, and then you see the guys that do beat throws out, the guys that do cause the infielders to make errors throwing the ball across the infield. Well, guess what? One of those plays, let's say you don't hustle, and that doesn't allow you to get on base, and the next guy gets up and hits a home run, and now you're down one instead of tying or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So early on, if you're not hustling, it might not seem like a lot, but at the end of the year, when you're jockeying for points and you're a half a game behind another team or one game behind another team, and people say, "Wow, well, guess what? If you would have ran that play out earlier in the year, we would have that number." So again, at the end of the day, everything, especially in the NFL, being that it's only 17 games, every game is so important. This beginning of this schedule, Mike, I think is vital. It's vital for the Pittsburgh Steelers this season because if you stumble in this first half of the season, I think it's going to be really difficult to get back on your feet in the second half, in that final stretch. Again, not a Mike Tomlin headed team, but the Steelers generally have trouble in those second half rushes, as far back as I can remember. So I think it's vital that they get in there and find ways to do whatever they have to do. And again, if you're going to be seeming like you're overcoaching and people are making fun of you, so be it. Because at the end of the day, one win could be the difference at the end of the year to win the division, to get into the playoffs, to get a bye, whatever it is. Everything is one game at a time. So I believe that they should really have that mindset, one game at a time. Let's do this 1 week at a time. And again, take advantage, because the early part of the schedule, Mike, again, the easiest in the NFL, the second half of the schedule, the seventh most difficult.
Yeah, get those wins at now. So towards the end of the year, if you do stumble, it's not backbreaking. And if you do get those wins down, you build up a substantial lead. In those last 2 weeks, hey, starters, you're going to play, the first 3 quarters of this game, give you a little rest. Hey, that next game that's meaningless, you're going to play a half. Get your body right, but still keep your body used to the rigors of the game, so we don't lose that steam. It's like, hey, that's the reward for busting your ass from week 1 to week 18. Don't be, like you said, lackadaisical those first weeks, and then you're scrambling at the end of the season to try and play perfect football. If you play perfect football from the beginning, and if you slip at some point in the season, you have that cushion and you have that foundation of knowing, hey, we did it before, we can do it again. You're not searching to find that gear. You're just searching to fine tune those little things to get you back to where you were. And that's why it's important to always get out to a hot start.
Absolutely, Mike. The beginning of this schedule is vital. It's vital. If you can't find ways to beat the Saints, if you can't find ways to beat Cleveland, if you can't find the ways to beat Atlanta, Cincinnati, Indianapolis, Mike, you aren't going to, it's not going to look pretty heading into that second part of the year, facing again teams like Baltimore 2 times, facing teams like Philly at Philly, Jacksonville, Denver, Houston, so on and so forth. So again, very, very vital, Mike. And this is something that we will keep an eye on and watch throughout the process. But again, the easiest first half of the schedule in the NFL goes to the Pittsburgh Steelers. By statistics, by numbers, the first half, the easiest. The second half of their schedule, the seventh most difficult. So keep that in mind. Got to get that identity formed early. Got to get the wins early. Again, you don't want to be sitting where Baltimore was last year at 1-5. Was picked to win the division, and again, it came down to the very last game. They played great football to get back to that point. Are we that confident that this is what we want to do? What we're going to be good at doing is falling behind and trying to catch up, especially that second part of the schedule. So again, vital for your Pittsburgh Steelers to start off good this year. You don't want one of them early flub games. You don't want a game where a ball might bounce off of one of your players in the end zone and the other team picks it up on a kickoff return. You just want to come out and you want to play good football, in my opinion. Do the small things really well and go out and play with your new weapons and see what you have. And this is, again, you got to do it. You got it. Mike, we've been saying this early. Get it when the getting's good. You have to stack your wins. You have to.
Yeah, stack them early, and then like we said, man, you stumbled, you're fine. You don't want to dig yourself out of a hole. It's nice when you can, but it's stressful. It's stressful for me, guys. Think about me,
Yeah.
Mike McCarthy. Look at this hair. I can't lose any more hair. But like, you see how tight you play when you're behind and trying to dig yourself out of that hole. Kind of puts you behind the eight ball. You're more or less playing playoff football from week 4 on. It's going to take a toll on you if you're just playing good, solid football throughout and slowly ramping up as you go. That's the perfect way to do it. So you're not overly intense every week. You still have another gear to get to.
And you know what, RB is making a great point right on the top of the board. RB here from the show. I'm going to get to you in 1 sec, RB. Let me let me get through Corey here for a couple. I see he has a couple posts up. Again, guys, we're off talking. We're going to talk tight ends today. Of course, we had the rankings come out this morning. We'll get into that real soon. But right now, we are talking about the first half of the Steelers' schedule. It is the easiest in the NFL. The second half of the schedule, not so much. It is the 7th most difficult in the schedule. So we were talking about the importance of getting wins early. Try not to fall into too many traps early. Get your wins. Every game is important. And this is going to be huge. And I think RB has a great point. So let me work my way down to it. Corey says this. Did you see the yeah, you know what, this Aaron Rodgers getting yanked for Will Howard. We'll talk about that. I do have it in my side notes, Corey. We'll get into it. But as you're saying, pretty clickbaity. And again, I don't think this is anything that we're going to have to worry about this year, providing Aaron Rodgers stays healthy. Then I commented, I'm not watching the clickbait. Should be real with your content. Then again, if these fools keep clicking, why would you want to do that? Laugh my ass off. I hate clickbait so much. Yeah, we'll get into that briefly here in a little bit. Again, kind of ridiculous. I would agree, Corey. Corey also says this, and he says this. We assume it's going to be the 7th hardest. Baltimore, Denver, Philly could fall off this year and be mid. The games could swing in our favor. I understand it's based off the past performance. And at the end of the day, I don't think, you're right. It could be. But at the end of the day, I mean, Philly still has a lot of talent on that team. And again, I don't think it will be an easy game in Philadelphia, as it never is for the Steelers. The Baltimore series, you know how that plays out. So again, we really have to, at least if we could miss making any big mistakes early on that's going to damn us, let's by all means do so. Again, the easiest half of the first part of the schedule in the league goes to the Steelers. Raul says this. He says, who is better, tight end Pat or Eric Green? I was a bigger fan of Eric Green because I like the freakish players. However, Pat Freiermuth, I'm not sure where the numbers are at this moment. He's very productive, and he's been very solid, and all the way up to the past couple seasons, when Ben was still around, he was very, very productive. As a matter of fact, he was accelerating his numbers faster than any tight end that ever played for the Steelers at that particular time. So again, until things started changing, he was well on his way to having a great career in numbers here in the Berg. So me personally, I like Eric Green. I like the freakier kind of guy, the monsters. But all in all, you know what? Pat's story is still being written, and we will certainly see this year if he continues to do good things in this offense, Mike.
Yeah, Eric Green, I like him more than Pat. I like Pat. I think Eric Green was more of a sure-handed catcher than Pat is. Pat dropped some easy balls every once in a while and has some key fumbles throughout his career that make me want to bludgeon him with my Penn State helmet.
So yeah, I mean,
I really do like Pat, but Eric was like that first tight end that like my God, we're allowed to have a guy who can catch and block and be a freak.
And that's the thing, Mike. He was my first love at tight end too. Like I fell in love with the freak of nature, and you know what? Even after 35 years, that has not changed. That's why I like Darnell so much. That's why I love it. He just puts me in mind to him, but bigger, and I love that. I love that. Dude, always great seeing JD in the house. What's up, big baby? It's Friday, heading into the weekend, sir. I hope things are going good for dude, man. We were getting there. Let me jump back. I did miss Corey here for a second. Corey says this. He says, BB. Okay, BB treated everyone like a playoff game. That's how BB, Tom Brady.
Bill Belichick, maybe.
Oh, Bill Belichick, gotcha. That's how he won so many Super Bowls. He wasn't afraid to bench, cut, trade good players for not performing to his and that's the way to coach. That's the way to do your job. And if Mike Tomlin did that, we might have some more Super Bowls. I do want to say what's up to dude. We did grab dude. I hope things are going good for you. And I do want to say what's up to RB. RB says this, of course, about the scheduling, Mike, as we were talking. He says, I'm sorry, RB says this. He says, I am a bit concerned with the early season. It's going to be an adjustment with a totally different play style with the new staff and new expectations. I think we lucked out with an easy, absolutely 100%. We did luck out with the first half of our schedule, and hopefully if everything goes right, it's not going to be pretty. I wouldn't imagine, unless we're all surprised and they come out and be right on. But at the end of the day, Mike, it kind of gives you a tune-up period for the second half of the schedule. But again, you can't, in my opinion, you can't give too much leeway. You can't give too much wiggle room when you're working your way through that first part of the schedule. Yeah. And again, you have to find your identity pretty quick, in my opinion, because again, sitting at 1-5 last year, Baltimore was this close to being done. But as I said, Mike, they were able to fight their way back. I don't know if the Steelers are built to do that. I don't know if the Steelers are psychologically built to do that at this point. In the future, you may take some hard losses along the way to learn as a team. But I just don't know if these new Steelers, unless they all form together and say, you know what, this whole new thing, this is us against the world, let's figure this out. That's a hard mental hurdle to get over, especially if a 1-5 start. And again, God forbid that happens to us, would be to get back into the game, let alone try to win your division, make the playoffs, win the postseason.
Yeah, like a lot of these guys, they know how to play tight, close football games. So it might give them, they have that knowledge. They have that grit in them to play those tight, close football games, which might help them a lot in these first, let's say, like 4 games as they're trying to get their footing. If things aren't going their way in those games, they know how to claw back and find those wins to not have that big put themselves into a hole. And I think once they get through those first 4 games, from there you're going to see things run so much smoother. I think I was talking about this when either the first or second time we were going over the schedule. Like, it's going to be a few games until they start running so smooth, because like RB said, and look, we've been saying, it's a new system, new coaching staff, and it's still kind of be a learning process going in from training camp, preseason games into the regular season. It's, different atmosphere from regular season to preseason. So it might be a little rocky, but I like the players that we have. We have guys who know how to tighten it up and play smart football to not lose games, to kind of keep the score tight. I think the scores will be tighter in those first 4 games, but after that, I look for the offense to take off and the defense to start being the defense we think it should be for the past 5 years.
Yeah. Again, at this point, it's hard, Mike. It's hard to get excited about certain things because, what RB's saying, I mean, it's true. We don't know much about this team coming up. We know that they're working hard. We know that the vibes are good. We know that everybody's getting along well. We do know all those things. And again, it all sounds good. But my question is this, a lot of things we've been talking about all the way to the thumbnail, the disrespect, the Steelers just always kind of getting disrespected around the league. And we, this is no secret. This conversation has been going on my whole life with Steeler fans. Where is the people? If you would listen to the media, you wouldn't think that the Steelers were any good ever. You would think that they were never good at all. Has there been any national media person comes out and says, "Yeah, you know what? This team looks good. Look what they got going on. They had a nice draft. They had a nice free agency." Have you ever noticed? And again, I'm not crying. I don't care what people say, but isn't it annoying that all you hear is, "Well, they're going to do this, and the Steelers ain't got this, and they're not going to do that." When was the last time you remember a national media person come out and say, "You know what? I really like this team." They're saying it about other teams. They're saying it about Carolina Panthers. They're saying it about the New Orleans Saints. I promise you, we're going to do better than those 2 teams. I promise you. Is it just the way of keeping everybody relevant, perhaps? Like, if you're talking baseball, you wouldn't sit there and talk about the Yankees all the time. Even if they're not winning all the time, it's a franchise that you hear about constantly. Is this what it is, perhaps, this hate that everybody talks about? Because, again, when was the last time you can remember a national media person getting on and talking about how good things are for the Steelers? It's been a while.
It has been a while. And, a lot of it, though, too, is like they will know, hey, if we talk bad on the Steelers, they're going to come watch. They're going to come read. They're going to click. They're going to react to us. And because the Steelers fans are passionate. Some of them will do like, hey, I see the moves they did. I kind of don't agree with them. That I can respect. Okay, you're actually taking a look at their rosters and shit like that. That I agree with. But a lot of it is just, oh, no. They got this guy right here. He's old, so therefore they're not good. There's a lot of that, not actually looking into what the Steelers are doing and why they're doing it, how they're doing it, and the philosophy behind it. And this is like what the third or fourth year in a row. Like, oh, the Steelers are going to have a losing season. Like, they've been predicting that. I swear for the past decade, it hasn't happened. It's like their cash cow. It's like they don't know what to say. It's like they've fallen into the loop with the Steelers.
It's safe because the law of average says that at some point this football team is going to have to lose. At some point in life, this football team is not going to be 500 or better. So you know what? A lot of times, Mike, this looks like a pretty attractive deal, an attractive prediction, because at some point this team has to finish lower than 500. You would think, right? So maybe that's it. Maybe going with the odds, and they're like, well, you know what? They have this going on. Maybe that's just going to be enough confusion to this team to finally not be over 500. Perhaps that's what it is.
Like I've seen some people say, hey, I like their offensive line, what they're doing, but are they going to be ready enough by the time that they get to the end of the season to face these good teams? Okay, that's a fair, valid question. We've had that question here, but it's hard to find those people who say that. It's just all Colin Cowherd type. Oh, they're mid. Oh, they're terrible. Oh, they're this, that, and the third. And I'm trying to find searches right now of like, is there anyone predicting us to have a winning record or a good record? I know, like the NFL Network, people had their list. Like, I think there's like 5 people listed on there, and like 3 out of the 5 had us with losing records, and 2 of them had us at 10-7. Okay, hey, it's a winning record, but it's the same record we've had for like the past 2 or 3 years now. There's some out there, but most of them predict us to have a losing season again, and I don't know why. Like, we've upgraded the roster, or is it just because Aaron Rodgers is back there, and because what he did in this Arthur Smith type system and the Mike Tomlin, hey, let's play conservative, not turn the ball over, keep games tight so we have a chance. Is that what they're basing it on? It's kind of, for a lot of these people, it's kind of hard for me to figure out what they're actually basing their predictions on.
Well, this one here, Mike, this is from, let's see, who was his name? I don't even know. The long snapper for the Panthers. Just comment about the Steelers. Again, I mean, this is just outside noise. I'm trying to pull it all together and get an understanding of what people are seeing, because, again, what everybody's seeing outside of what we're seeing is always wrong. Every year, again, this team's going to finish in last place. When was the last time this team finished in last place? The 1980s was the last time this team finished in last place. So by law of average, yes, you would think at some point. But again, the Steelers make it difficult for people to make that call because, again, it hasn't happened since the 80s. Like this was said by the long snapper for the Carolina Panthers, makes the comment. They are a 9-8 team. He says they are uninteresting. The Steelers are uninteresting. They're a 9-8, 10-7, 7-10 team, kind of team to me. Right in that category. Right. Again, the 10-7 sounds nice, but you have to throw that out from everything else that he says. He says they are an uninteresting team. 9-8 looks like the number, and it even goes as low as like 7-10. Again, I don't care what the snapper for Carolina says. Again, it's just the outside noise. You're just trying to piece together what it is that people honestly think, and I can't believe that people honestly think that this team is going to dip so far with the changes that we had. We're looking at it from the half full angle, where okay, we made a lot of changes. This is going to be good. It's looking like a lot of people outside of the fan base is saying, you know what, they made a lot of these changes, and they're going to have a difficult time getting it all together and being consistent enough to put together a good season. I don't think that we're not going to win football games. Yeah. It just, maybe that's what it is. They're just like, well, you know what? They don't have the year to year. They carry over. It's a new everything. It's a new system. It's a new coach. You got to give that a little bit of time. Maybe perhaps that's what people are talking about, because at the end of the day, Mike, we haven't finished in last place since the 1980s. Yeah. I would not put my money against Pittsburgh if I was a gambler.
Yeah, me either. And the long snapper. Whoever heard of a long snapper talking? I mean, shit? That's right, dude. Thank you, because we play you this year, and I'm sure your guys on offense and defense are going to very much appreciate you providing bulletin board material and extra motivation when all you're going to do is go out there a handful of times and snap the ball. And don't be involved.
Well, I don't care. Listen, I don't care if it was him. I don't care if it was the Pope. I don't care who said it. I mean, again, Mike, you know.
Whoever heard of a long snapper talking shit?
Well, I think it's kind of cool.
You know why? Of course you would.
Why not? It's always this or that or a receiver. Why not the long snapper?
I love the long snapper. Get in on the top.
2026.
He should be off in the corner with the kicker and the punter working on their golf swing.
I'm sure they are. Let's continue on the board. Let's go right here to Tyrone. He says, disagree with RB for once. I got to be honest, Mike, you better write that down. Here, I'll put it on the calendar. Because
7-10-26. Tyrone and RB agree on something.
I mean, this is like the Hatfields and McCoys getting together. It's like the David. It's like the Dukes and the Farrakhan's getting together. I can't believe it. I'm putting it down right here. July 10. RB and Tyrone agree.
It's making sure the foundation of the studio is not collapsing. There are no portals opening up to another dimension. We are not being invaded.
Real quick, I do want to say Tater's already in the house. I do see him at the top. He says 12-5. I'll remember that. Remember it. Write it down. Take a picture. I don't give a fuck. It's at least going to be 12-5. Let's go back to the top where we are and make our way there. Tyrone says, you're finally talking facts for once, RB. These two already. Mark Maloney says this, we're going to be good and tuned up by mid-season. Raul says, how TV time does Rogers Invisible? How much TV time how much does Rogers' invisible wife get? I think is what Raul was saying. You know what?
Just pay it over to an empty stadium.
It's a good question. I wonder if we'll ever see her. That's a really good question, Raul. Tyrone says, I hope so, Mark. We got to play our best football weeks 10 through 15. It's tough. Corey says this at RB. I agree. That's been my worry, and I voiced that after McCarthy was hired. Tyrone says nobody likes Heath though.
Heath.
Let's go here. RB says this for the players, the new expectations will adjustment. I'm sure McCarthy isn't going to play. We didn't know this is the one we already read. Okay, let me read this. He says this for the players, the new expectations will be an adjustment. I'm sure McCarthy isn't just going to play. Just don't lose football, and also communication and play calls and doing more than just cover 3 on D. Tyrone says this, I want to see McCarthy more aggressive and smart plays. I'm glad he's West Coast guy, but we will better in spread. DK Pittman and Bernard. I have that in my notes here. We're going to talk a little bit later as well. The early downs. What are you guys anticipating on early downs? I could see a pass. I could see you run. If we mix that up good and then possibly open up the play action game, could certainly be beneficial. So we'll talk about that here in a little bit, guys. What we think the play calling is going to be early in drives and series. So it's a very good question, Mike. And again, if you use it right, if you can complete the ball, if you could complete pass on first down, you could then start to maneuver that and use this and again work all the way into the play action pass, which is going to benefit you other places. So let's hope that we do dab our toe in that early in the season and again maybe get something going and keep people on their heels because at the end of the day, it's again a new scheme. And that, Mike, I think is part of a big part of the advantage that the Steelers have this year. They say, well, new coaches, new this, new that. But at the end of the day, you're pulling tape out. You're not going to be able to find any tape about the Steelers that's going to basically have anything that you're seeing that's coming up. So, this is a huge advantage. Some people were saying disadvantage, which it may, if things don't come together. But on the other hand, in preparation is key, especially you're playing NFC teams. Like these teams play you once every 4 years. Yeah. They don't put the work into it the way that the teams in your conference, the way that the teams in your division prepare for you. They face you once and they're on to the next team and you don't see them again for another 4 years. So again, playing teams that are out of conference is huge. We got to win them NFC South games. We got to win the games that we should win. Too many flub ups might put us in a bad situation. So I hope things could get off to the right step to get started. RB Mike, he responds in this way. He says some of these guys have had the mentality of just don't lose burned into the brain, and it takes a while to get out of that mindset, especially when the new coach is a lot more aggressive. So again, a lot of questions, Mike, a lot of questions coming up today. Just about how we're going to get started. How's that? The first, not even half the year, first quarter of the year. How we're going to look, how off balance we're going to be, and how are we going to keep the defense on their heels as we try to get that ball moving, especially on first down, second down. Again, you get some first downs on first down, second down. You open up a whole new thing. So again, I think that plays to our advantage. Like the coaching, some people are saying disadvantage. I'm going to tip it into the advantage because now again, the preparation for playing the Pittsburgh Steelers is totally different, and that's a nice chunk of I think what maybe some of the problem has been in the past.
Yeah, because now you're going to go back and watch film from McCarthy, film from his Green Bay days, from his Dallas days, but then you're going to see the concepts of what he wants to do, but then you got to go back and watch some Steeler film from this year and the previous couple of years to get ideas of what guys can do, but they're not going to be in the same scheme. So it's good. We could potentially catch some teams off guard. You know, because I don't know how well they're going to be able to scout the Steelers because, like you said, it's a whole new scheme. It's been ran in different places, but it has been ran in Pittsburgh, and we haven't seen our guys in that system on tape and on film running this West Coast style. We've been running whatever hell Matt Canada and Arthur Smith have been running. So it could work out into our favor just by catching some teams off guard by, just different wrinkles McCarthy's done in putting guys in the Steelers in different positions and having them think, oh, well, they ran this with a similar type player in Green Bay and Dallas. Oh, based on this formation, we think that's what Pittsburgh's going to do. And we go out and do the complete opposite of it and catch them flat-footed for a couple weeks. It could work out for us.
Mike, we are 65 days away from kicking the ball off against Atlanta right here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania at Acrisure Stadium. Mike, 65. I'm going to go with Jackson, my man, the left tackle from back in the day. He protected Neil O'Donnell's backside, a little bit of Bubby from the late 80s into the early 90s. John Jackson is my 65. Mike, who is your 65 as we're 65 days away from kickoff?
The guy who just got us a third-round pick in this year's draft, Dan Moore Jr., baby.
All right, there you go, Dan Moore, man. Dan Moore days away from kickoff. Dan
Moore, a fourth or fifth round pick who was held to first-round pick expectations. Both first-round picks in Pittsburgh are held to seventh-round pick expectations just because we like the name. Dan Moore Jr.
1 month and 3 days, Mike. 1 month and 3 days. Yes. Preseason football. Green Bay Packers. When we come back on Monday, it'll be 1 month. 1 month. I believe they're Thursdays and Friday games. All three of the preseason games. I think it's 2 Thursdays and a Friday, if I'm not mistaken. But this one is a Thursday. This one will be exactly 1 month from this coming Monday. So 65 days to kick off. 1 month from our first preseason game, Mike. And on July 28th, the Steelers start showing up at St. Vincent College in Latrobe for camp. The 29th, they start officially. The 3rd, they start in pads. On the 8th, they have Saturday Night Lights. And then on the 17th, they wrap up. So they play Green Bay on the 13th, and then they still go to camp the rest of that week, and then the second game, and then they're back home to start prepping for the 3rd preseason game is the way it looks. So as of right now, guys, we are less than 3 weeks away from camp starting. We are 3 days short of it being only a month to our first preseason game at home against Green Bay. And again, just 65 days, Mike. This will be down into the 50s here in a few days, if you can even believe that. So it's all coming real fast. It's coming like when Eminem starts rapping real fast on Rap God, and it's like it just blows you away. This is where we're at. Once you get to this point, it's going to start coming faster and faster, and we are going to be waving our terrible towels before you know it. But in the meantime, let me stick to the board. Let me see what everybody's saying. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the board. Great to see you as always. Even Tater Tard on the board. It's also good to see him as well. Let's go here to Corey. Sorry, Corey says this at RB. Luckily, Aaron Rodgers and DK Metcalf will run that offense. Warren will be helpful as well. Aaron Rodgers is good at communication and building relationships with his receivers. And also, I'm more worried about defense with our defensive coordinator and new guys. That's a good concern, Corey. Again, we're assuming things are going to go well. But last year, we were assuming that they were going to go well with the defense as well. And again, anytime you let up over 200 yards rushing in a season, I just don't know if that's it. I don't know if you're working with all the pieces that you want. Again, that is one isolated game, but there was other times as well. Let's go right to RB. RB says this: I think they know we have a big, loud, and vocal fan base, so even a negative talk generates the same engagement, if not much more in this fan. You're 100% right. Steeler fans they don't like their team. They love their football team. That's no secret. Just learning, always great seeing you. He says, late to the party. It's all good, brother. We're about to get into some tight end talk and see where our man Pat Freiermuth, where he fell on this list of positional rankings. We'll get into that here shortly. Great to see you as always. Just learning. Tyrone says, don't drink that. I hope A-Rod Bernard on the same page. Too, and yep, defense, I have faith. But last year we were ducked besides turnovers. Hope better scheme. Let's go here to Corey. Corey says, in response, a lot of these guys refusing to give us credit got beat by Mike Tomlin and Bill Cowher for years, laughing my ass off. They have grudges. They probably also lose bets because of us. I mean, come on. Take those, 2 seasons that Cowher had? I mean, this goes all the way back to 1992. The Steelers had, 2 losing seasons? This almost 40 years?
Yeah.
I mean, so again, going against the Steelers might, in theory, be a good bet because,
Yeah.
again, law of average says it's got to happen
It's
sometime.
gonna happen sometimes. And I was able to.
If you take that mindset to Vegas, Mike, over the past 34 years, you lost a lot of money.
Yeah. I did find three reporters who gave us a chance of a winning record. So there's at least three of them out there that know what they're talking about.
Throw their names out there. I want to hear what their names are.
Matt Verdermay from Sports Illustrated has us 10-7, the best team in the AFC North. Brian DeArbo of CBS Sports has us 10-7, and Ralph Vacciano of Fox Sports has us at 9-8.
All right.
So there's at least three.
We found three.
We found three. I think Bucky Brooks on the NFL Network, I think he was. Don't quote me. When I saw the other day, I think he was one of the ones who had us at 10-7.
Corey says this, Mike. He says, I have a ton of faith in the guys who didn't get the Tomlin stink rubbed off on them for the majority of their career. It's the guys with 3 to 4 to 5 years of Tomlin that I'm worried about reprogramming. Raul says this, Cleveland got an easy half of the schedule so Shador can make his second Pro Bowl. And that drives me crazy more than anything, Mike. But this is what's being said in Cleveland. This is 100% true. A reporter says Shador looks like he's closing the gap on Deshaun Watson. So, in my opinion, I think this is what you got to do if you're Cleveland, because Deshaun's been out how many years? Mike, think about when he was good in Houston.
Yeah.
That was quite some time ago. People were expecting in Cleveland for Deshaun Watson to step back in and great things to happen. The guy hasn't played a snap in pro football for how many years? I don't care what the hell he got in trouble for. That's irrelevant to me. The fact that he hasn't played a snap and people were saying once he comes back, this is our guy. I think Shador should be closing the gap on him. And if he's not, I think it should be very concerning for Cleveland.
Well, here's the thing. Like, all of their practices, they were showing, like, film and allowing people to record their OTAs or whatever in spring practices. And they're all like, oh, my God, Shador completed this amount of passes. He's looking so good. You're watching this stuff, and guys are – if this was real, actual contact football, he would have been sacked 1,000 times.
What about when he threw that one guy's arm? That guy was standing with his arm up. He was standing with his arm up in the air for 30 seconds and Shador threw it right at it.
Yeah, like, and it doesn't get a lot prettier. So I don't know why they're up there hyped about him. It's crazy. Their quarterback room is a drizzle. Is the drizzling shits is what that is.
And also in division news, Mike, just something in front. It's not even news, just a comment. Our Charlie. Of course, Charlie Batch, former Steeler, Mike, Steel Valley graduate. Charlie says this. He argues the Ravens have a better offensive line than Pittsburgh does heading into the 2026 season. Now, you got to remember, this is the team that lost their starting center.
Yeah.
One of the best, to be honest with you. Charlie Batch, our own, saying that the Ravens have a better looking offensive line than the Steelers do. Again, I mean, you could debate it. We have guys switching to the other side of the line. We have new people coming in playing the right side of the line. So it's debatable, but kind of an odd angle for Charlie to take, I would think.
Yeah. Like, they took a huge step back at center. Like I said, Tyler Linderbaum, it's usually like him, Creed Humphreys, and Zach Frazier talked about as like the top 5 centers. Who they got to replace him is not. They did upgrade their right guard. Their right guard, I forget who his name was, but he was god awful. I haven't seen Vega play a snap in the NFL, and I'm already saying that's an upgrade. But their tackles, yeah. Ronnie Staley and Roger Rosengarten, are they marginally, substantially better than Fatanu and potentially like a combination of Dylan Cook and Max? I don't think so. And Joe Simpson, Mason McCormick, I think right now we have the edge on them, and we still have guys developing, ready to take over. I think the only spot they really beat us at is right guard, because I think Vegas right now is better than whoever we put at right guard right now.
All right, let's continue on the board. Just Learning says that's why we won the division last year. I agree. That's why I agree. Ty's saying, I'm just going to grab him off the top. He says, I think we got edge better depth too. Of course, they did bring in over Hendrickson, and you know what? It wouldn't surprise me, even if it's not a Tomlin coach team. Like it wouldn't surprise me if this game isn't down to the wire, though, just like they always are. It's just the magic of NFL football and the football gods at the end of the day. So you know what? I'm as far as us and them go. I don't think much is going to change, but overall, I'm just kind of curious on how both of these teams, obviously, they're going to look moving forward. New coaches, new system, new players. There's a lot of change, but ultimately, at the end of the day, I think Ravens and Steelers, because even back through Cowher,
that's what I was about to say.
Through the inception of the Baltimore Ravens, it was that all the way till this point, Mike. It's always been difficult, competitive games, and I don't think that's going to change. Being even two new coaches, one on each team.
Yeah. I'm anticipating every game to be a tough game because that is the rival for both teams.
Let's continue on the board. Let's go right here. Corey, don't drink that, says RB. Good point, but McCarthy won't let those guys lounge around, I don't think, and neither will Aaron Rodgers. Those guys won't play acting like this is still Tomlin's team. And this is another kind of, and I want to keep moving on the board, but a comment that I do have written in my notes here, Mike, is how is McCarthy going to be as far as keeping the outside noise? A lot of things that we're talking about today, I mean, these guys read everything. We talked a little bit earlier. I forget who it was, said that these guys run to the locker room and check their phones to see what people were saying about them during the game. So it happens. It gets into these guys' heads. Now, a concern of mine, it would be, what's McCarthy, is he going to do good at keeping the outside noise outside? Because that could be such a big variable, and that's not anything that that you can control. People are going to say what they're going to say. People are going to say the good, they're going to say the bad, they're going to say the ugly. I'm just wondering how Mike McCarthy does that, because not only we have a season coming up, but we have 5 seasons with this guy as our head coach. Pittsburgh Steelers, they get a lot of attention in different ways, stories, rumors, everything else. Is he going to be able to keep the outside noise outside? I don't know. I do know that Dallas is a high-profile team. I know that Green Bay is a high-profile team. Has it ever been a problem with these teams? I don't know. I'm not a fan. But, Mike, that is a concern of mine because, again, sometimes it made you wonder in the past, is things getting into guys' heads in the locker room? And, again, that's one of the last things you want for your football team is they're preparing to get ready to go out on the field.
Yeah, keeping the outside noise out, keeping, the locker room tight too. Like, don't let the stupid stuff that's happening come out as well too. And until years later, that's going to be a key right there. Because like you said, it's got my lights moving, my camera's moving on me. Sorry here, but yeah, can he do it? I have faith in him because, like you said, he's a successful coach, Super Bowl winning coach from 2 high-profile organizations. Yeah, him and Aaron had that falling out in Green Bay at the end. It was kind of ugly out there. But that was then. This is now. Everything looks like those two have moved on from that and grown as individuals, and their relationship seems to be so much better. So I think he's going to do a great job keeping all that outside noise as outside noise. You don't coach in the NFL for as long as he has and as successful as he has if you can't control or minimize the outside noise to affecting the team. It's one of those meetings or daily messages to the team that they have every day of like, that's outside noise. Don't worry about it. Make fun of it in those meetings to address it, to nip it in the bud so it doesn't grow and fester for players. And, someone who's coached for a long time, I have confidence that he'll be able to handle that. Now, if this was one of these new young upstart guys that we looked at, I don't know if I would be as confident.
All right, let's stick on the board, Mike. We got to get caught up. RB says, I'm sorry, let's go right here. Tyrone says this, I think guys will be fine. They're pros. They know how to win. They just got to learn the new scheme, and things will get rolling for the vets. In theory, that's, you're right. But everything's always easier said than done. You know what I mean? So that's a concern. Just a few concerns. I'm not really concerned. There's a lot of things that I'm very, very optimistic about. But as being a realist as well, I do see concerns along the way. And again, I think that they're certainly worth noting. Let's go here to Tyrone. I think the guys will be fine. We did get that. RB says 10-7 is really good for an entire new staff and a lot of turnover roster-wise. The issue is poor McCarthy will get slaughtered for more of the same. And same as Tomlin after just one season. Well, I'm going to let you in on a secret. And I'm sure, RB, you know this, but there is a demographic. There, I don't even know if it's a demographic. It's a group of people, and it goes across the board. It isn't. They don't all look like one. Everybody in this movement you're going to see this year are going to be against Mike Tomlin, or I would say against Mike McCarthy, just because they don't agree with the way that the Mike Tomlin thing turned out. This is white. This is black. There's going to be a group of people that's going to say, well, you know what, Mike Tomlin did this. Well, he didn't do that this good, but Mike Tomlin did this better. Yeah, well, Mike Tomlin didn't have. So again, you're going to have this group of people, no matter what. You know it's coming. You just have to ignore it like everything else and move along. But you know it's coming. You know it's coming because there's so many people that were salty when Tomlin and the Steelers split ways. So I would be crazy to think that that's not going to happen. It's going to happen for the next 5 years. I promise you. Every little possible comparison is going to be made. We win. Well, these are Tomlin's guys. If we lose, what's McCarthy doing? So, you're going to hear it all. Believe me, from top to bottom, the stupidity that we're going to hear over these next 5 years is going to make my brain bleed.
Dude, we still hear people go, Chuck Noll wouldn't allow that. Bill Cowher wouldn't have done that. So it's just going to keep carrying over from coach to coach to coach. It's going to be, well, this coach didn't do this. Well, this coach did that. So.
Well, I just know there's a strong following that's been very vocal to this point. I can't imagine that's going to change anytime soon. So just be prepared for that, and you'll be okay. Let's go on right here to 10-7. Really did McCarthy get slaughtered? We did get that. Corey says this. I didn't know the Panthers had a long snapper. I thought they picked season ticket holders from the stands to throw them a friggin' bone here. Let's go to Raul. Raul says this. Arthur Smith is gone. 12-win season. I think a 12-win. Listen, if they don't shit the bed, if they don't run into a bunch of problems, I think the potential is easily. I think it's a 12-win season.
Yeah, just based on the growth of the young players, the addition of key free agents, and just the way they've been going since the Con Weedle era started, it's kind of the trajectory that they're on.
Let's go right here to RB. He says this, Tyrone, I hope you're right, but it's hard to completely change the way you were taught to play the game for years and years and years. These guys were just told, don't screw up, be conservative. RB says, keep it close. Mark Malone says, I'm leaning toward 13-4. Again, the first half of this season is going to tell the story. If this team is sitting at 6-1, it's probably going to be okay. You're going to be, if we fall, Mike, again, not because these teams are better than we are, the Cleveland Browns, Indianapolis, New Orleans, this first half of the schedule. But as everybody's saying, just getting everybody on the same page, being able to play good, productive football and be a good team together as a new group of guys. I think that would be more the concern early on, Mike, than the opponents that were playing early on. So,
yeah, that's kind of where I'm leaning towards right now, too.
Mark's saying 12-5 at the worst. He's leading toward 13-4. I do want to say what's up with the Tater in the house, talking all his mess from across the pond. Tyrone says, me too, RB. I hope so. We'll see how first 3 games go. That's what I'm saying. Early season, guys, pay attention to what goes on.
I don't like the love affair between Tyrone and RB right now.
I enjoyed it. It's Friday.
It's scary. It's a sign the universe is going to end. I don't like it. I don't like them fighting. I don't like them loving each other. This is scary for me. Let's change, guys.
Let's go here. And I agree, Ty. I think that the first part of the season is going to tell a lot about the rest of the way.
Yeah.
I think we're going to be able to get a pretty good litmus test pretty early on how this thing's going to go. Again, nothing's 100 proof, but again, by going what you know, I think the first 3 to 5 games are going to be very telling for the whole year. Mark Malone says, remember 13-4 instead, car bomber. And somehow Tater Tart is turning that into racism. I don't know. Let's continue forward. Tyrone says, I got us at 11-6. Mark Malone says, politicism. More like it, which I would think if I knew what they were talking about, but I don't. RB says this, McCarthy throws a lot on first down so he can be in position to run on second. And I love this idea. This is good, especially if you execute it. This is a good way to play, because you're keeping defenses off balance. They don't know if you're running. They don't know if you're passing. They don't know if it's play action. They don't know if they should blitz. They don't, the word they don't know is so key in everything that we're saying. And again, this has been a problem in the past. Teams come in to Pittsburgh in the past, and they knew what we were going to play. They were calling out the plays as we were getting ready to run them. So again, I think this is huge. This is where I think it certainly benefits us under the guise of everything being new, on the positive, on the half glass, half full part of it. So let's hope that be the case. Let's go to Corey. Corey says, I say we open the season on a 20-yard completion to DK because everyone will expect a first down run. Maybe it will take a while, Mike, for people to get it out of their head that, you know what, it's not the same team. The Steelers always do this. The Steelers always do it because they technically literally have nothing to go off of.
Yeah.
And again, that's an advantage. Tyrone says, I want to see a early deep shot week 1. Let them know this is the same Steelers. I agree. I think we're going to see. I absolutely think we're going to see some different shit.
We're going to throw a pass over the middle, pick 6 going the other way.
And it's possible. It is possible.
I sound like derpy, but it would be funny because like we're all like envisioning like the best that can happen, and I would love to like the first play to be just a beautiful deep shot or a quick slant DK, and he takes it to a house, to the house. But knowing our luck in Pittsburgh right now, the way things are going with our teams, it's going to backfire on the first play, but then get better from there.
It's hard. I don't know. He's still talking about race. The thing is, I can't even put together what he's talking. A car bomber. He's correlating to being racist, I guess, that Mark Malone was saying. But again, Mark Malone is a nut. I don't know. Nothing was rubbing me weird. Let's continue forward here. Mark says, "Sure, buddy, sure." Corey, don't drink. Corey says, "Just shut up, Tater. You're a fool. Always one turd trying to stir the bowl." Just Learning says, I wonder what Tater's next team will be. I know. Who is it going to be after San Francisco falls this year? We should bet on that. You probably, yeah. At least your odds are better. We do our death pool. I mean, it could be anybody.
It could be.
I know we can make our odds a little better by trying to figure out who the fuck Tater is going to jump to next. Let's go right here to Raul. Raul says Browns need to draft more white players. See, now this, which I don't mind, but I think this would have been something that he would have made that comment about, because I always go on about how we need more black guys. I don't care what anybody says. I want black receivers. I want black corners. I just do. Again, I just do. If you watch the game in the past 5 years of your life, let alone 45 years, I just do. I don't know. Call me crazy. I like these guys. So somehow, I'm sure somebody would say that that's wrong. Let's continue on. Let's go here to Tyrone. Ty says, I do think we will be better coaching this year. Tomlin, Smith, Austin wasn't it. I just think it was stale. Things weren't changing enough for us to be able to. Again, it's hard to make the argument, Mike, because somebody's always going to step forward and say, well, we never had a losing season, which is a great accomplishment at the end of the day. So, I mean, of course, this argument will continue on and on and on, probably for the rest of our lives, I guess. Let's continue right here. Mark Malone says this, I'm about to pull a Bill the Butcher on that potato-eating alcoholic at Corey. Of course, the potato-eating alcoholic, I would guess, would be Tater in this situation. Just Learning says this. He says, Mike the Sith Lord. Mike the Sith Lord.
I can do that. I can get my villain arc with this going on. Like, my studio is so fucking cold right now. It's great. I'm loving it.
Let's go here, Mike Tyrone. They're still talking as much. They're still talking as Tomlin, the coach. Shock. I know. Let's go here to Corey. Corey says this. He says, Peter Schrager from the NFL Network usually expects big things from us. He's always a big supporter and rich eyes. And okay, we'll take it. Raul says, Browns fans are still wearing Johnny Manziel jerseys. And you know what's funny about this? Johnny Manziel still hopes that they fail. He roots against them. He roots for them to go 0-16, 0-17 every year.
I love it. I love me some Johnny football.
I love me some Cleveland Browns for all the right reasons. You know what I mean?
Like, if you ever feel bad about your team, this goes for all 32 or all 30, the other 31 NFL fan bases. If you feel bad at your team, just look at the Cleveland Browns.
Yes, in the Pirates in baseball, we got this.
Exactly. It could be worse. Just go look at the Browns. If you think your marriage is falling apart, look at the Browns. You think your kids not going to do well in life? Look at the Browns. You're going to have hope.
I see what you're saying. Ty was saying he feels that we have the edge as well on the offensive line, and I do too. I mean, come on, you lose your anchor, you lose your center, you lose your Lindenbaum. That's big. And as for us, it's hard to say, Mike. I mean, again, we're switching the whole line. So again, this is often, this is easily debatable. But again, we're not going to get into that whole thing today. We have a lot to get into, but it's debatable. I mean, they lost a lot. They gained a little back in the draft. We lost a little bit. We gained some in the draft. We switched players' sides. It's debatable. It's a conversation for sure. Corey says Charlie only said that to light a fire under their asses. He doesn't mean it. I always forgive Charlie. Everybody forgives Charlie.
I don't.
Even when he was here and he wasn't playing anymore, they had him on the sideline for 6 more years just standing around. He was just a cool guy to have there. Everybody likes Charlie except for Mike. Let's go right here to Corey. Corey says at Mark Malone, pull a Magnum Malone on him. Pull a Magnum Malone on him. Also, Tyrone says this, what's your underdog? Who's your underdog for the season this year? I think Brisker, which is interesting. We're going to talk about him at the more near the end of the show. Him and a Pitt legend together over the past couple of days. We'll get into that. Also, Raul says, run the damn ball. Corey, don't drink that, says at Ty. It has to be Brisker because I forgot all about him. Tyrone says, Corey, that LOL. Yes, sir. We got him on a steal too. 5.5 1-year deal for show. What's up, dude? Want to say what's up to Steelmatic Honda on the board. Always great seeing you. I hope you're having a good day. Heading into the weekend. We're getting there, brother. We are getting there. He says, salute y'all. Yinzers, same back at you, bro. Tyrone says this, agree. Gives me Elliott vibes. He signed 1 year, $3 million, balled out. Got 2 year, 12. So yeah, I can see it. What's going on, everybody? RB. Let me grab a few more of these, Mike, and we are going to get changing topics because this is just where we are. We do have a lot to get into here. RB says the thing is, I never fight with Tyrone. I can't speak for him, but I just reply with counters to what he says. I only ever said he has man crushes and whatnot. I know. And Tyrone knows it too. He, it's all fam.
It's just, I just love when they go back and forth.
And sometimes people, fam fights. Brothers always fight against one another. It makes the fam stronger. Let's continue right here. RB says, or through a personal attack at him. I just debate him. No, I get it. I think Ty gets it. Corey says, Ty Elliott getting comeback player of the year, in my opinion. Just a few more. I'm gonna swear, Mike. I'm only gonna get a few more. I swear. Let's go right here to RB. I don't have any issues with people disagreeing with my opinions. I will die on the hill I stand on, and will debate my points. Tyrone does the same. No, it's the thing. That's why we here, man. Let's continue forward. Let's go right here to Corey. Corey says this: even when the Steelers disappointed us, the Browns never do. You're right. People always say, how have you not had a heart attack yet by watching your team? Well, I don't have to climb up that bridge because Cleveland always keeps us level because they're always so bad. So at the end of the day, they help us. They help us a lot. Let's go right here. Steelmatic says at least Troy Fatano goes back to his true position at left. And again, you're right, Steel. But again, it's been a couple years. He had the big injury out all year his rookie season, played the right the next year. So again, yes, it's his natural position. But again, you're still switching around everything that you've been taught as a pro has been to play on the right side. So again, I agree with you. But again, you can still see how there could be some hiccups along the way. Let's go here to RB. I won't lie. I'm glad we did get Heinrich. I like white halfbacks. I don't remember too many great ones, certainly in any modern era, but I'll take your word on that. But
McCaffrey and Reagan, those are the only two I can think of in the past.
And I mean, these are good guys. I mean, it doesn't look like these are the greatest running back. You know what I mean? So again, at the end of the day, they were doable, of course, having successful careers. But at the end of the day, they still weren't no Barry Sanders or any guy like this. Let's go here. Mike Raul says, waiting for the Browns to give Elvis a tryout at quarterback. I think Elvis Gerbach at one time was possibly one of their quarterbacks. They could have had an Elvis there. RB says, but if I had my way, I'd have a team full of Samoans. Yes. Label me racist. I don't care. I want a team full of Samoans. I want these guys from Hawaii that all have long hair in the back and big bushy. That's what I want.
You want guys with big bushes. Okay.
Yeah, and I want a black DB as well. Don't mess around. Give me black cornerbacks and all Samoans. I don't care. Let's get right here to Just Learning. Always great seeing you, my man, all the way from 6'9", elevation. Hopefully 6'9" tonight. Just Learning. Always great seeing you, brother. My man. Ty says, I like the debates. No, it's all family, baby. Ain't nobody, it's all good. You can tell when people are getting real salty. You could tell. Nobody in this group recently, I would say, falls in that category. Let's go. Finchy TV.
Finch is alive.
Finch is alive. The guy he's going to see in concert on Sunday is barely alive, but Finch is alive. course, Finch going to the Bob Dylan show on Sunday, 85. You old Bob Dylan. He says, sup, Raul? Hi, just learning. Cool to see some new names around here. I do know that Ty has been missing you, Finch. Let's go here. Let's go to RB. He says, yeah, Schrager always is realistic with us, so is the angry runs guy. Finch getting some love.
Yeah, I forget his name. Yeah.
What's up?
The guy who hands out the angry runs, he's always speaks really well of the Steelers.
Okay. I do want to speak well of Hanjon. Hanjon, welcome back to the show. I love when Hanjon's here. Always great to see you. Welcome back to the board, sir. He says this, the NFL has a personal vendetta against Steeler players. First, Hayward not in the top 10. Now, Pat, who cares what they really think? And you know what? I agree. I've been saying that for years because they've been telling us that we've been finishing in last. And against Hanjon, we haven't finished in last since the 80s. But yet they still keep coming out and telling us. So let's go here to Tyrone. Hanjon, Porter, and Cam got screwed. Muth wasn't top 10 this year either. RB says this, or it wasn't top 10 this year. I apologize. RB says, I used to love Batch. The more he talks, the more I realize he's a dipshit. I'm kind of right there with you in a weird way. I agree with that. Let's go here. Raul T. Martin, line 2. Let's go. Hope you're well, Finch. Of course, Tyrone wishing Finch well. Corey says that's positive racism. Let's take the pain away from the world. That's how we oppress the man. There you go. And John says this, was there even a top 10 tight end, tongue-in-cheek? Gotcha. 9. We're going to get to that in just a second. I saved it on purpose. I didn't want to get it early. I wanted to touch on the second half of the show. Of course, the positional rankings in the NFL out this week, Mike. After 4 positions, we have one person that made the list so far. We have one guy that was an honorable mention. Again, we'll get into that in just a moment here. Finch is doing well, super busy this summer. And he also says this, my little girl was 10 years old in the summer. She wants to do all the little things. Yeah, man, of course. And you do have a big concert coming up with Bob Dylan.
Bob.
Maybe, here's the thing. We should have a bet to see if Bob Dylan dies in Finch's presence.
We can all blame Finch.
Because here's the thing. Anybody is really 1 second away from death if you think about it. Anybody. Everybody. And Bob Dylan's really close because, again, he's almost 90. Maybe we should make that bet, Mike. Again, will Bob Dylan die in Finch's presence? I think would be the interesting.
Well, we know who the number 1 suspect will be. It will be Finch. We will alert the authorities.
Yeah.
And we'll send Derpy to be your lawyer.
Listen, if we can conserve Derpy, because again, he can get very little. He's like an empty toothpaste bottle. You know what I mean? There's just so much that you can only get out of him. And I want him down to Picklesburg, walking around interviewing people with a pickle. I really want this. If we could make this happen, I swear, I'd give my 3rd testicle if we could make this happen. I really would. Let's go here. Let's go to Ty says, I get it, Finch. Give her the best summer ever. Absolutely. And Finch sure will. Finch is a great guy. Tyrone says, who cares about rankings? It's a joke. Just want to see him play on the field. Absolutely. But we need time. We need time for things to start happening, Ty, so we have to talk about something. But once we do get rolling, baby, it's going to be nonstop, 7 months, I promise you. Let's go right here, Ty. I'm sorry, Mark Malone. Cope will call his Jewish brother home. He will call his Jewish brother home. Hey, he's got to die sometime. Again, 85 is getting up there. Finchy says this. He goes, I'll take that bet. Ryan, Bob won't die when I'm there, but he'll probably pass within. You know what? That's crazy because that was my initial thought. I thought he's going to see him and then he's going to die shortly after. But I thought just for the show, let's make the bet: is he going to die while he's in Finch's presence? And again, Mike, everybody's just one breath away from death. You never know when your time's going to come.
Like Finch, you're not helping your case out here, bud. You already said you're the prime suspect, and you're saying usually people die within a week or 2 after you're around them. I'm not saying that's just not a good sign. Not a good sign for your defense.
I think that he's going to die when Finch is there. I don't know. I'm just getting I'm getting a premonition. I just got a feeling.
Like lock eyes with Finch. I don't know where Finch's seats are, but they'll lock eyes, and then Bob will just keel over dead.
So Finch is taking a no. I'm taking a yes. Mike, what do you want? Do you think Bob Dylan will die?
I'm in the yes column.
You think he'll die as well?
I think.
All right, so Finch, there you go. RB, you get a vote too. And if RB ties Finch, then we have to go to Derpy for a tiebreaker. I don't want to do that. So hopefully RP votes our way. Let's continue here. You know what, guys? Let's get into it. Big story today. If you did see the thumbnail, if it pulled you in, it's not just clickbait. We are going to talk about this, guys. There's been Jeremy Fowler from ESPN has been putting out his positional rankings all week long. Started on Monday with the running backs, which no Steelers landed on that list. Went to cornerbacks. No JPJ, no Steelers on the cornerbacks list as well. Yesterday, the edge position got graded. TJ Watt did come number 7. He fell quite a bit from last year on this list. Mike, TJ Watt comes in at 7. Today, the tight end room is at topic. This is what Jeremy Fowler graded today. And I do want to say this, guys, it continues. If you still pay attention to the weekend, he'll be grading offensive tackles tomorrow, interior offensive linemen, center guards on Sunday, quarterbacks. Our quarterback make it to the top 10 room? I don't think they're going to say yes, but again, you're going to want to pay attention to that. Will be Monday. Off-ball linebackers will be on the 14th. Wide receivers will be on the 15th, and they will wrap up this ranking, Mike, on the 16th when they talk about safeties. Again, I'm starting to wonder. We made it through 4 positions, have one guy that's made the top 10 list so far. I'm starting to I'm just starting to get a little. You know what? Also, we had defensive tackles, right? We talked about Cam.
Yeah, we got Cam.
Yeah, okay.
Just missed the cut. He got a vote.
He got a vote. That's right.
He got a vote.
He didn't make it, but he got a vote. So we did get.
He got a vote from one team scout from somewhere.
Yeah. So again, guys, let's get into the tight ends. This is what Jeremy Fowler's ESPN positional rankings looks like as far as tight ends go, Mike, in the NFL. We're going to give you the top 10, and we're going to see if any Steelers made this list as well. We're going to start at 1, work our way down. Let's go right here, Mike. Number 1 is Brock Bowers on this list of tight ends, according to ESPN. In this year's 2026 preseason positional rankings, Brock Bowers, number 1. Trey McBride from Arizona. Trey McBride is coming in at number 2. Number 3, Mike, George Kittle. On the list. Top 3 so far, Brock Bowers, Trey McBride from Arizona, and Kittle. So far, so good, Mike?
So far, so good. I don't have a problem with those 3 being in the top 3. I like all of those guys.
Neither do I. I think it's looking good so far. Let's go to number 4 on those lists, Mike. From Detroit. I think Detroit has a lot of nice skill players, and I think that bleeds into the tight end position. Sam Laporta, Mike, coming in at number 4 on this list of tight ends. Let's talk about number 5, Tyler Warren, somebody that is dear to your heart, near and dear to you, Mike, being a Penn State fan, carried Penn State on his shoulders for a while there, Mike. Penn State tight end coming at number 5 on this list. Not bad this early in his career.
Not bad after 1 year in the league. I think a bit high, a bit premature right now. I don't mind him being in the top 10, being a Penn State guy. I liked what he did last year. Bit premature, I think, being this high.
If he's involved in a good offense, I think he becomes the thing is, like at Penn State, when he is the guy, like he was trying to carry the team, I just don't know if he's that player. But if you have a good team going on and you throw some Tyler Warren in there, he can become deadly, because now you have to cover somebody who has mad talent. Don't get me wrong. The kid got mad talent, but at the end of the day, it was hard for him to carry a team on his back, I thought. I wanted to see more out of their skill position. And then when Aller goes down with the injury, I thought, that's when it kind of turned into a disaster up there.
Well, like this cat right here last year in he did well up in Indy, but they need a quarterback. They need someone to get him the ball consistently.
It ain't Phillip Rivers, you know.
Yeah, but now that you lost Pittman on the outside, the other receiver, he's kind of banged up coming in the season. He's going to be their number 1 passing threat, and they have a really good running game with Jonathan Taylor. So, I'm kind of worried that now our team's going to just fixate on him because they really have no one else to throw the ball to right now. Like if they have like another legitimate weapon on the outside, I think he'd dominate in the middle up there. I love me some Tyler Warren.
I hope he does well. Again, coming from the state, we'll certainly have his back. No two ways about it. Let's move on to the second part of this list, Mike. Let's talk about the second half of these tight ends in the latest positional rankings. Number 6 on the list. We got familiar with this guy, or this guy got familiar with us, if you want to say, when we played the Green Bay Packers last season. Matter of fact, the game that we covered with Finch, right from his studio, Mike, the Green Bay Packers tight end, Tucker Kraft, really took it to us in that particular game.
Yeah.
Tucker Kraft also took the number 6 slot in this top 10 tight end room by Jeremy Fowler from ESPN, Mike.
Yeah, I would flub. Me personally, I'd flub him and Warren. I think this cat is vastly underrated.
You know what? I agree. Again, we got to see him play firsthand, and a lot of times that's how you really get a feel for a guy when you see him play your team, because you know your team. You know your team's strengths. You know your team's weaknesses. So when you see a guy on ESPN, put up some uncharacteristic numbers, if you know what the hell happened opposed to the fans of 31 other teams, you're going to have a better idea. And again, we learned a lot. We learned a lot about Tucker Kraft last year, Mike, and that's going to be etched in my brain for years to come.
Oh yeah, like I knew coming into this game this guy was good, and that he was going to be a problem. But to actually see him in a full game, not just highlights and cut ups and breakdowns of him, but to see in an actual full game when he does snap in, snap out, I was even more impressed. I was impressed and worried going in, and I came out even more impressed.
Mike, let's continue on. Number 7 on this list. Number 7 on the list. We're getting through it. We got top 10. Let's see if any of our Steelers tight ends make this list, guys. Number 7, Chicago Bears tight end, Colston Loveland. Mike, he comes in at number 7.
Another player that, like him and Warren, came in last year's rookie. I think they're both deserving on this list, but maybe just a little too high right now, given just they've only had a year in the league. But Loveland played really well last year, and he's in a great spot in Chicago with all the other guys around him, to where they got some really good receivers. They got a quarterback, and then he can just patrol the middle of the field, doing what he can do, finding soft spots, beating guys deep. I think by this time next year, it wouldn't surprise me if Loveland on this rankings coming from league execs is in the top 5.
Mike, then we're going to go to number 8, and I want to make a point here. We play the Falcons in week 1, right?
Yeah.
Well, they've already had, with the running backs, they, of course, had Bijan, and then now Mike coming in at their number 8 spot overall on this list, of course, is Kyle Pitts Sr. coming in from the Atlanta Falcons. They certainly have more people in the top 10 lists. Should the Falcons be a little bit more of a concern to us than we're giving them credit for to kick off the season?
No. I'm just not overly impressed with their quarterback room.
Right.
Tua's not impressive at all. Michael Penix Jr. is not impressive at all. Their big thing is they got Kevin Stefanski. We know Stefanski can throw at a nice offense. We saw what he did in Cleveland when he actually had a quarterback. But now he's coming here. He doesn't have a quarterback. No. And Kyle Pitts being on this list, I don't agree. He finally had another decent year outside of his rookie year. The previous 3 years were average at best. I don't think he's a top 10 tight end just because of the consistency factor. Even though he had a good year last year, I still don't put him in as a top 10 guy.
All right, let's take a look at number 9. Number 9, Mike. Of course, Kyle Pitts was number 8. Number 9, kind of a surprise to me, to be honest with you. Number 9 on this list, Mark Andrews. Mark Andrews, number 9 on the top 10 tight ends in the NFL.
For me, kind of like Pitts, inconsistent the past couple of years.
Yeah, I mean, dropping a ball to knocks the Ravens out of the season a couple years back. I mean, that's kind of been the thing that stuck with him lately. Is just kind of inconsistency. Of course, yeah. Mark Andrews, and finally, Mike. I don't know. He got married last week. Now you're already on the top 10 list for the season this year. Travis Kelce comes in number 10 on this list of top 10 quarterbacks. You're right, Ty. That's what was my thought immediately. Mike, but right here. Number 10, Travis Kelce on this list of top 10 tight ends in the NFL, which means no Pittsburgh Steelers made the list.
None made the list, and the last 3 guys making it on name alone. At least the last 2, Andrews and Kelce, have some kind of cachet and track record to be on this list. Kelce did have like 850 yards last year, but my God, did like the production drop from years past to this year.
A big
You can
difference
see-
when you have a quarterback and then
Yeah.
not having that quarterback.
Yeah, and when my God, the guy's like what 37, 38 years old, so he's getting up there. It's awesome when you can get that type of production, but he's no longer for me. I don't think game in game out a top 15 or
So
top
to
10 tight end.
So to answer what the question may be, what happened, Mike? How do we not get another person in the top 10 by position list? Pat Freiermuth, he dropped all the way, Mike, to honorable mention. Now in this, they've been having the top 10, they've been having honorable mention, and they also been having also got votes, kind of being the third tier. Pat Freiermuth did get the honorable mention on this list here, Mike. So again, 5 days, five positions, one guy.
Yeah.
Makes it into the top 10, one guy into the honorable mention. That's how things look. As I said, through the weekend, pay attention. Tackles tomorrow, centers, guards on Sunday, quarterbacks they'll be rating on Monday, off-ball linebackers, on Tuesday, wide receivers, and then safeties to wrap up this. And it's just going to be interesting, Mike, because again, just all in all, I mean, you're looking at this right off the top. I see Kyle Pitts. I see Bijan Robinson. These are guys we're going to have in that first game, just 65 days from right now when we do play the Falcons. So it's just going to kind of be interesting to see, who else kind of falls into these lists, who we should be keeping an eye open for. Like we said, Mike, getting this first half of the season to be successful, I think, is key. Beating Atlanta, that's where it starts. So, again, we got to stop these guys, Mike. Again, quarterback is the issue down there.
Yeah.
To Penix, whoever the hell else they got. Not really concerned about this at all, unless they could come out and be a lot better than Miami was last year when Tua was there, because we handled Tua with Miami, who was playing good football at the time. They were running the ball as good as as anybody else in the league when we beat Miami last year. Of course, their passing game wasn't the same. So Atlanta, they're going to be bringing it week one right here in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
It wouldn't surprise me if they have if their wide receiver Drake London makes that top 10 list for receivers as well. He's a very underrated player. Pat Fry being honorable mention, I think that's puts him probably like top 15-ish. That's probably where he ranks in tight ends. That's for me is fair right there. But if he's used appropriately in this system, he can be in that bottom latter half of the top 10, or replacing some of those older guys, which is where I kind of thought he would be at this stage of his career. But with all the different quarterbacks coming through, not having a successor that locked down since Big Ben, it kind of robbed Pat Fry of a decent little statistical career here. But I think this year, with the way McCarthy's going to use guys, I'm looking for Pat Fry to have a quote-unquote bounce back year.
Sometimes, again, I don't know if it was his way of kind of changing things up or changing things from being stale, but there was things that Coach T did along the way that was certainly questionable. And in my opinion, you're going to want to use all your weapons to be as good as you can. I want to mix you up. I want to keep you on your toes as much as I possibly can. Why not get? And again, bleeds into Arthur Smith as well, not just Coach T. But again, you're going to want to use all your weapons as much as you can. And sometimes it just seems to me that they kind of prove their points in ways. Again, why somebody like Pat Freiermuth wasn't involved, nor when somebody like Jonnu Smith who was doing really much nothing last year. And it almost we kind of committed this guy. You knew Arthur Smith loved this guy. We have to keep giving him his attempts. And in turn, Pat Freiermuth was getting less attempts. And again, Mike, before this started happening with the Canada and into Arthur Smith, he was on pace with the fastest, every Steeler quarterback of all time. He was on pace to start his career, the first 3 or 4 years, to pass everybody's record. He was competing with every tight end, no matter who it was, Heath Miller, Eric Green, all the way back. He was doing that. He was putting these numbers up. So again, whether it was just bad coaching, whether it was not giving the right people opportunities, or continuing to give opportunities to the guys that weren't getting it done, which is crazy, because on one hand, you're going to continue to give Jonnu opportunities, but you're not going to give Roman Wilson. I just think that some of these things are just decisions that were ultimately made by the coaching system. I don't know what the what we're all about, but at the end of the day, you weren't getting a guy like Freiermuth his opportunities. That's the reason why his numbers dropped. You should, in theory, see his numbers start to go back the other direction now, because I assume that we're going to use him a little bit more and throw to the tight ends, because why? It helps. Of course you want to use your tight ends. I just don't understand in the past why things kind of went where they were, why things got stale like it did. But again, very excited, like most Pittsburgh fans and Steeler Nation, about the new beginning. And maybe Pat Freiermuth will certainly benefit from this, along with a lot of other guys that you could possibly throw into that category.
Yeah, there's a couple guys that could have been used more, but I just can't wait to see what the hell we do with this guy, McFryermuth.
I am getting hungry still. I could have very well said McFryermuth. Let's go right here, Mike. So that is the way that it looks. Let's get back to the board. I can't wait any longer on this board, Mike. We do have a lot of things to get into, but I don't want to leave anybody out. Let's get back up here where there we go. I'm in the right ballpark. Just give me a moment to find it. All right, Tater Tard. He says 5-12. I don't know what this is. Maybe his. I was working into a joke. I was going to say maybe it was his 5-12. Maybe it was his SAT scores. I don't know.
Did you just shush me?
I did. I did. And when the hell am I getting my shirt anyway? I want my shirt. Everyone keeps asking.
You get nothing and like it.
Everyone keeps asking me about this shush shirt. Let's go here to Finch. He said it would basically be like a Twitch raid. Basically, I like those raids. I see a couple of the shows I watch on YouTube where they do these raids. They go over to other people's shows. You know what? I missed something, and I think this really would validate the point of what Finch is saying. Let me go back. Corey says, I have an idea, guys. We all need to go to other Steelers channels daily and promote the two Dum Yinzers. And you know what, Corey? Not only am I going to give you the game ball, I'm going to call you a genius. I'm going to call you a genius. I think that's a great idea. And we have to make it worth your while. We're going to put an idea together. We'll do something for the people that gets this done most often. I love this idea. And then Finch comes along, and also he makes the comment about it being like a Twitch raid. One show I do watch, they do this sometime, and it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Just Learning says this. Don't I promoted on the Arthur Moats? I did promote on the Arthur Moats. Let's go to Tyrone. Tyrone says that's San Fran record. Tater 5-12. 5-12. Tater says sorry, typo, 4-13. Tyrone, he says Fowler's a clown. Let's go to Finch. Okay, Ryan, which song will he be singing when he dies? I think he'll be singing. Oh, I know what he's going to be singing. I can't think of what it's called. It's like an 8-minute song. Let me get back to you, Finch. I swear to you, I figured out. I got what I think it's going to be. Tyrone, Porter Island all day. Ty is saying, Tater Tard, no piss pukers in the rankings. Let's go to Honda. Honda says, forget these rankings. Let's talk about hoisting the Lombardi, something that the Browns never did. Oh, that's right. Tater Tard jump ship, now going to San Francisco. I think somebody even asked some about that on the board. They inquire. Let's get to this next message right here. Tyrone, if Frazier don't make it to centers, I'm done. Mike, does Frazier make it to the centers? That is going to be Sunday's news, because Sunday they will be doing the interior offensive line. We got to start ranking the times that you forgot your microphone. I know we're going to get more than top 10.
I forget if I mute it on the screen or on the actual microphone. You know, when I'm trying to look something up for the chat. I don't want everything.
We only got 3 more to 1,000. You got it. Hey, it's still early in the process. You'll get this.
But yeah, Frazier should make the top 10 for interior offensive lineman.
Yeah, I think so. I would imagine so. I mean, come on, if you don't, jeez. Let's continue on. Let's go right here to Ty. If Frazier don't make centers, I'm done. Tater says one guy means you're shit. Let's continue forward. Dude, you literally switched teams because your team stunk. Anyway, Tyrone says Tater Cam was second All-Pro last year. That means you're shit. Honda says that Tyrone, you really can't put stock in this shit. It's just Tater. Tater nuts out of he tries to come in and get everybody fired up. Honda says this. He says Brock is nice though. Corey says at Tater, the only numbers that will matter are how many Super Bowl teams. Yeah, how many Super Bowl teams your team's got. Between your 2 teams, it still isn't as much as our 1 team. Let's continue on. I know you're new to those but San Fran was winning those while you were cheering for elves and bulldogs with mange. Let's go to Tater. Tater says Niners have a top 10 ranked in all positions so far. How's that going for them? They haven't won a Super Bowl since 1995. '95. All right, just saying. Tyrone, Corey, let's see, got that. Let's go right here. RB says, I was out of the room. I thought Bob Dylan was already dead. And you know what we did too? I had to Google it yesterday.
Right.
I had to Google it. I didn't know if he was alive or not, but Bob Dylan is, in fact, 85 years old. And Finch will see him Sunday, provided Bob Dylan doesn't die in the meantime.
He's going to die on stage looking at Finch.
Yeah, so this is what I'm voting. This is how I'm gambling. I'm assuming that he's going to die when he sees Finch. But hey, Corey says you don't even need to get it to claim them. You're new to mediocre fan bases. You've been rooting for sadness for so long. Give it a full season before you start celebrating. Yeah, you should have to be a fan of a team for at least a year before you can talk shit. I mean, anybody could just jump to another team. Like, you know what I mean? It's just weird. Let's go here. Tyler Robinson has more of a chance of walking free than Pittsburgh getting another Super Bowl win. I'll take that. I'll take that for many reasons, actually, because I think that if it's not this year, they will get a win at some point in the Super Bowl, and Tyler Robinson isn't walking anywhere. Let's continue forward. Let's go to Honda Hut. It says our offense was not efficient last year, so you definitely have to take this into account with these rank. Absolutely. Absolutely, man. Tyrone says this, right, Tater? You don't even have the San Francisco roster yet. Tyrone says Muth like top 15 right now. Steele says Colston should have been top 5. Tater says Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. Smith.
Yeah, you know you've lost the argument as soon as you invoke Stephen A. Smith.
I just thought that same thing. I thought as soon as you say his name, you're done. You just walked into a checkmate. Tater, you listen to ESPN. Let's go to Corey. Corey says this, Mike. He says again, SAS is a fake Steeler fan. He claims, Stephen A. Smith, of course, he claims to be a fan, but all he does is shit on him. He's a loud ass idiot that rants about nothing. He just talks over everyone so they can't shut him down. He's trash. Let's go right here to Tater. Tater Charge says something. He says this, y'all, where do these rankings come from, numpty? Where do these rankings come from, you numpty?
You numpty.
Well, you know what? The same people that said we're going to finish in last and the Browns were going to finish ahead of us last year. Steelers haven't finished in last place since the 80s. So let's go right here. Let's go. Yes, I know, Ty. Andrews made it. That's unbelievable, actually. I can't even believe he's on that list, Mike, to be honest with you. But there you go. Tater says Stephen A. Smith says Schittsburg. Yeah, I mean, they're not the worst team in the league. So consider the source and what you just said to kind of prove your argument. There's definitely teams that are worse. So for him to say he's the worst and you're listening to him, that speaks volumes.
Yeah.
Corey says you guys don't get a lot of channels in Ireland, I'm guessing. Tater saying something about a fart bubble. I don't know. Let's go here to Tyrone. No, they get one change team every year. Corey, so that's a no. Tyrone, we should have 3. Shaking my head. ESPN. Steel Loyal says this, Mike, and I do want to say what's up to Steel Loyal all the way from North Carolina in the house. Always great to see Steel. He says if Frazier don't make it, they all lose. They lose all credibility. Tater says apart from a run mid-70s, you were and still are irrelevant. You know what? And when you catch up with our 6 Super Bowls, we could then add your team into the conversation. If we're so irrelevant, why hasn't your team caught us yet? I'm just saying, or any of your teams. So again, nice try, man. Corey, don't drink that says this is a small piece of advice for Tater. When you come into another team's chat, make sure you know what the fuck you're talking about before you say stupid shit. You have no credibility here, dude. Let's go to Liam. Always great seeing Liam. Hope you're doing well, buddy. Great seeing you back on the show, or back on the board. Liam in the house. Tater says bam bang. He says, bang, bam, bang, bang, bang. I'm not even sure what's being said there, but there he is, everybody. There's Tater. Steel Loyal says, Tater, you're a 49er fan. I don't know. There's no reason for you to hate the Steelers anymore. We're not rivals. Corey says, respect for your new fandom, and I'm finally learning when to cut your losses, I guess, but you still don't know what winning looks like. Browns haven't won. And, that's kind of why I always hold myself back against Tater sometimes. And I kind of give him the benefit of the doubt. Because maybe he just doesn't know. Maybe it's just like us going over to, I don't know, some European show and talking trash on somebody's team over there. Where, again, I mean, we can follow soccer here. But, again, over there, if you're a fan that follows 365 days. So I try, but sometimes he makes that difficult for you. Let's go here to Browns haven't won anything since before you were a swimmer, Corey. Let's go to Honda Steel. Did Ryan just call him Pat? I am. I'm getting hungry. I probably did. Pat McFreiermuth. Let's go here to Corey. Says, and you spelled irrelevant wrong. Mark Malone said there was some weird shot going on last year. Tater 3-14. Again, not real good there on his team's record. Let's go to Corey. Corey says, that's just being petty. That's just me being petty. Not everyone got a good education. My apologies. Stay in your lane, bro. Sit in the corner and shut up. Or go back to your team's chat if they want you there. Let's go right here. Tater. Tater says this in response, Mike. We just read everything that was said to Tater. This is what's said to Tater. This is what Tater says in response. Grandpa glued his balls to his butthole again. Get Mike quick. Yes, I did, and that's none of your business, Tater. So don't you worry.
What we do in the privacy of our own studios is none of your concern. Maybe if you subscribe to the OnlyFans, you would see, and then you would have a right to speak on what's happening.
Corey says, Master of Puppets. That's a Metallica. Yeah, it is a lengthy song. However, Bob Dylan, that's who Finch is going to see. And again, I can think of the song in my head. I just can't think of the name of it for nothing. It's an 8-minute song. Let's go right here. Let's go to Tyrone. If Fraser's not top 5, this is a joke. I do want to say what up, Somber. Somber all the way from Los Angeles, California. In the house says, what the fuck is a tater anyway? Is a tafster anyway? We don't know. It's so bizarre. We had to change it to tater tart. Nobody knew. Tater says, what is a somber? Vegas says the Browns have more players on the cover of Madden than they do Lombardi. And you know what that means. Let's go here. Somber. Somber is a word. Somber says in response. Vegas says, are you asking for bets if he dies? Yeah. Yes. Again, at 85 years old, here's my theory. Everybody's just one breath away. You truly don't know. I mean, it's safe to say that you're probably not going to die within the next 5 seconds. But you know what? Everybody dies at a particular second, and every one of those seconds had 5 seconds prior to him. So in theory, Bob Dylan at 85 years old, that's the bet. Is he going to die while Finch is in his presence? I'm going with a yes. I'm giving it a yes to keep it interesting. Again, Finch is going to watch Bob Dylan this Sunday in concert. He is 85. Let's go here. Let's go to Ty. And I do want to say what's up to Vegas all the way from Las Vegas. Always great seeing you, brother. Tyrone says, what the fuck is a bandwagon? Oh, wait. Tater says, bang, bang, Niners gang. To me, it sounds like gang bang, Niners gang out there in San Francisco. You better watch out for them there, Tater. I'm just saying. Let's go here. Jamie, hey, what's up, dude? Always great seeing Jamie Carlo on the board. Jamie says, I think the Steelers are going to get this on all the position charts. That's just how it is. Players need to take this in consideration and prove everybody wrong. And again, as all the teams that are the top of the food chain, they catch heat all the time, Mike, as do the Yankees. And it's just what it is. When you've done it better than everybody else, all they have left to do is talk shit. They haven't been able to get it done on the field. Nobody's been able to, with the exception of New England. And come on, that was a freakish Tom Brady, 2 decades worth of whatever the hell that was.
Some bullshit up there.
Steel Loyal says that's not a saying. That's not a saying, Tater. It's bang bang Steelers gang. You literally just hijacking our shit. Laugh my ass off. Somber says he can't even say bang bang. No guns in the UK. Hey, you know what? That's a good point. That's a good point. Let's go to Psalm. I'm sorry, Tyrone. Psalm stab. You could go stab in Ireland, of course. / 49ers gang. Steel Loyal is suggesting. Somber says poke Niner gang. Let's go here. Steel says, and it's somber. Vegas says this. Why in the movie Lion King did some animals sound like they were from the USA while Scar sounded like he was British? You know what I thought was funny that everybody thought was so sad? When that lion got trampled by all those animals, and the little lion came and he cuddled next to him, and he's like, Dad, wake up. Dad, wake up. Why am I the only person that laughed through that scene?
Like I find it funny too because like
come on, Dad, let's go home.
The lions kill. Yeah, the lions kill and eat the wildebeest anyway. So why can't the wildebeest get one? And it's supposed to be a sad moment. I think it was a proud moment for the wildebeest. And then they overthrew the monarchy.
They're cartoons. I remember having a conversation with a chick back in the day, and I'm like, bro, it's a cartoon. Whatever. Anyway, Lion King, who would have thought that's where we would have stemmed off? Let's go right here to Aaron. Aaron Williams, back in the house, my man. Always great seeing you, sir. Aaron on the terrible board. He says, we will make believers out of a lot of people. Just watch and hate. Yes, I agree. And we always do. We always get the same vibe in the off season, you know, with the media and the national media and just the stupid shit that again. Great to see Aaron. Welcome, sir. And also, I do want to say welcome back to our boy Kevin back on the show again today. Mike back on the terrible board. Hey, Yinzers, all the way from Virginia. I won't make that mistake again, Kevin. I swear to you. Steel Loyal says, I guess the early 2000s never happened either. Yeah, no. Just 3 Super Bowls in like 4 or 5 years, you know. Tater said, yeah, no guns. That's why it's a safer place. Listen, I'm not going to get into politics, but I've been watching what's going on in Europe. I feel safer with my firearm. I'm just going to put it to you that way. But again, it's not politics. But you can chase people with butter knives if you have problems. All right, I'm not going politics. Let's continue forward here. Let's go to Steel Loyal. Steel Loyal says a safer place to get stabbed. Let's go here to Vegas. He says Ben is tied in second place for most wins in Cleveland in the Cleveland Stadium with 12. He led until Baker Mayfield, the guy that the Browns didn't think was good enough to keep on their team, beats that record. Ben Roethlisberger literally had the most wins in Cleveland Stadium out of any quarterback. Let's go 12-5. Kevin, you know what? 12-5 is I think very doable. I think 12-5 is very doable. Let's go to Honda. Somber, you having a laugh yet? Buy me a pint. Tater says, bang, bang, Niners faithful. Somber says, right, LOL. Vegas says, is Tater really derpy? One time I thought so, but I don't think he is.
Hey, Derpy's not smart enough to pull this off.
You're right. You're right. Corey, don't drink that, says that Tater, that explains why you're such a keyboard warrior. You don't have anybody coming after you with a bag of French fries. Let's go to Jamie. Jamie says Tater's a douchebag. Mark Malone probably died of visions of Johanna. Let's go here to Tyrone. Tyrone says, wait, so tackles tomorrow and centers Monday. It is, Ty, we have tomorrow's tackles, interior offensive line Sunday, quarterbacks Monday, off-ball linebackers Tuesday, wide receivers on Wednesday, and then they wrap it up on Thursday with safeties for these positional rankings. Tater says Bill Walsh. Wasn't he a singer? Vegas says Tater most commonly refers to a variation of tapster, which is a bartender and can also be a certain type of rescue dog. Steel Loyal says Sunday Tyrone for centers. Let's go to Mark. Niners bang bang yeesh. Let's go here to RB. Why is everyone giving Tater shit for living in the United Kingdom of Allah? Steel Loyal says laugh my ass off. Then RB comes out of nowhere. Tater says, yeah, I rescued your mama, Vegas. Ooh. Where'd you go, Mama? He went there. Somber says, Tatsfer is not a standard English word or widely recognized slang term. It is highly likely to be a typo, nickname, or a specific term, or it could also be from his real name. We don't know what his real name is either, so it could also be from that. Why is there a West Virginia? Why is there a West Virginia? I do want to say what's up. That was Vegas. I do want to say what's up to Chris, my man. Christopher's all the way from South Florida. I do want to say what's up to you, sir. Hope things are going well for you heading into this weekend, buddy. He says this, since it's Friday, here's a cheap joke. A girl walked up to a bartender and says, give me a stiff one. And so he took her in the back and he banged her. I like that. Great seeing you, Chris. Steel Loyal says, laugh my ass off, Somber. Is that what Google said? Somber said, yes, it is. Let's grab these last few. Mike, we do have a few more things to get into here today. Let's go. Steel Loyal, that's amazing, Ty. Thanks, brother. Kevin says this. I do live in Virginia, but I am originally from closer to Pittsburgh and Akron, Ohio. Gotcha. I've been by there for sure, man. On my way up to Cleveland a few times. Let's go to, and you know what? I lie. I was in Akron. I went to see a Seinfeld stand-up back in 2003 or 2004, and that was in Akron, Ohio. RB, what up? Loyal, Vegas, that's what Google told me. Steel Loyal, not much RB. How you been? Steel Loyal, so Tater's a rescue dog. Kevin says Joe Walsh. Yes, Joe Walsh. Of course, not Bill Joe Walsh, the singer. And finally, RB, working my ass off, bro. Doing my job and 2 other jobs while being de facto supervisor for the last 2.5 months. Getting burnout. He's been very busy. We certainly know that. And Somber says a dog, a brown, that needs to be rescued. Makes sense. And that does make more sense now. Somber, my man, putting it all together for us. Let's get into a few more things, Mike, before we get into something new. Did anybody catch on Family Feud? Did anybody catch yesterday that Hines Ward and Mel Blount were on the AFC team on the Celebrity Family Feud? I missed it entirely. I didn't even know what was going on. Otherwise, I would have watched it. Just kind of curious. Did anybody catch this on Family Feud yesterday? Again, Hines Ward and Mel Blount on the AFC side. Tater says this. Yeah, I'm a rescue dog. Have you a problem with that, bro?
You shouldn't be bruv. You have a problem with that, bruv?
RB says Tater better watch himself then. Those migrants are apparently eating the pets. Laugh my fucking ass off. Still Loyal says, no, Tater, we are sorry. We didn't know you were that scared. Don't be scared. Let's see. What else do we got, Mike? I am going to talk about, of course, Brisker in just a few moments, as we do know that he was working out with Aaron Donald a little bit, talking with Aaron Donald. That is something we're going to speak on. But Mike, before we do, I want to talk about something that was brought up earlier on the show. And the reason I didn't talk about it earlier, because I thought it was stupid, as was mentioned on the board, a stupid bait, clickbait story. Anybody catch this one? ESPN's Mike McCarthy suggests the Steelers fan base would force them to bench Aaron Rodgers later in the season for Will Howard. Let me read that one more time. Mike McCarthy from ESPN suggests the Steelers fan base would force the team to bench Rodgers later in the season for Howard. Mike, this is what people are talking about when they talk about the ridiculous clickbait. Again, yes, this is a couple of the slowest weeks of the year as far as football talk goes, but this, in my opinion, it's gross. Steeler fan, where do you even start when you talk about something like this, Mike?
I pulled up I saw the clickbait and I clicked into it, and she was saying like, if things don't go to if we aren't living up to our expectations by November, December, is what she was saying. Like if like the season starts to unravel, if that rough spot that people were worried about. Oh, that's what she was saying. Like November to December, Eagles, Broncos, Texans. If Rodgers in the offense isn't playing at a high level at that point, and we're not where we think we should be, she's saying like she can picture the crowd chanting for Will Howard, because she did some live stuff in Pittsburgh and like surveyed the crowd when there, and they were begging for Will Howard at that point. So there's a lot of like ifs in that statement. Like if we're not playing well, if Rodgers isn't playing well, if the Steelers are in a bad spot right now.
This is immediately why I hated this story. Like,
yeah.
This is why, again,
it was a lot of ifs, if.
Well, for one, it's stupid. For two, listen, remember last year when Aaron Rodgers, during the season, there was a couple of times everyone started saying, "Hey, bring in Mason Rudolph." At the end of the day, you really didn't think that or really want it. Pittsburghers do get a little, we get into it and we get emotional and we want things to get right and change things and things to get better. And at the end of the day, maybe people will start chanting for Will at a certain point. I think a lot of people, if you're going to make this argument, you would easily go back to, of course, the head coaching situation and the chance from last year, which you have a valid point. But at the end of the day, I think Steeler fans realize what the situation is. I think most Steeler fans are very knowledgeable of the sport, whether you agree with somebody or whether you don't, for the most part. And I don't agree, Mike, that that going to Will Howard at any point this season by pulling Aaron Rodgers is a good idea. To be honest with you, maybe at the end of the year, let's just say the team is sitting at like 5-9. Yeah. Perhaps go with the younger guys in the last couple games to get their feet wet. But under no circumstances ever, while this team is in contention, do I think it's a good idea to pull Aaron Rodgers for Will Howard this particular season. So again, Mike, for that reason and that reason only is why I didn't even want to touch this story. But again, people are going to ask you about it here. Yeah. And it is what it is for me. I think it's kind of crazy. I think it was something to get in. Like I said, this is the slowest 2 weeks in football coverage, certainly for our show statistically. So again, I understand what's going on. I think most of the board, everybody else. And again, crazy. Why don't we bring Drew Aller into and put it through it? It's crazy talk. Is what
I saw the headline, clicked in the article, didn't found the podcast that was on, and it's just like one of those hypotheticals. Hey, what's something that could happen in this situation? Like, okay, yeah, this could happen. But then, the headline gets out there. Oh, the fans are going to start screaming for, Will Howard. And then you actually read into it. It's like, okay, it kind of makes sense. Like, if bad things happen, it's like we've been saying all along too. Like, if things go off the rails, why not start putting young people in there?
Yeah. Now, let's move on the board, Mike, because I got two more topics to talk about, and it kind of, as we're rounding third, so we're on good time, no biggie. Let's go right here, Mike. Tater says, "Yeah, I'm a rescue dog. Have a problem with that." Let's go to RB. Tater, Tater better watch himself then. Those migrants, okay, they're eating pets. Let's go to Steel Loyal. No, Tater, we are sorry. We didn't know you were that scared. Mark Malone, he says this, yeah, you definitely don't want to be a dog in the UK today. Let's go here to Tater. He says, I save people. And to you, if that's true, I commend you. That's a good thing. Just a bit of weird personality, but if you're saving people, I'm cool with that. Let's go here. Somber says Tater needs an emotional support human. Jamie says, FF Tater, sorry ass. Vegas says this, they're eating dogs and cats in Ohio, according to the POTUS. Tyrone says Brisker is a beast. I'm going to talk about Brisker in one of my last two articles here, last two subjects. I'm sorry. Steel Loyal says Jamie hates Tater with a passion. Jamie hates Tater with a passion. Just trying to zoom up real quick to see what that might be referring to. Let's continue on. Let's go right here. Kevin says Mel Blunt was killing it. Man, I'm so pissed I missed it. I bet you it's on YouTube somewhere. Again, Hines Ward and Mel Blunt on Family Feud, Celebrity Family Feud yesterday on the AFC team, of course. Let's go. I got to check that out. Vegas says, shut the fuck up, lady. Tater says, I'm off to watch the World Cup proper. It's proper football. And I'm going to be honest with you, Mike. I've never seen somebody stop talking about something so fast than I've seen on social media with this soccer. As soon as USA won, boy, all the love went right out of the room. I haven't seen anything.
I have my feed is still nothing but the World Cup right now.
Well, if it's World Cup shit, that's one thing. It's definitely not about the USA soccer. I can tell you that.
It's, the other thing about the USA soccer is just everyone shitting on our best player because he was a little bitch, and rightfully so. And then the other half of my algorithm is,
well, they are soccer players, Mike.
Oh, he's a little bitch. Christian Pulisic, what a little bitch.
You don't have to argue me. Let's move forward. Bitch. I don't disagree with you one bit. Until this team could win anything, they're all bitches to me. Let's go down here. Let's go to RB. He says Kimes shouldn't be allowed to talk about sports ever again. Jamie Good Tater says that. Jamie, do you need a hug, bro? Not from behind, like you and your new team's doing. I don't want none of them infamous Tater hugs from behind. I just don't want those. Let's go here to Steel Loyal Tyrone. He says this. Don't do it, Jamie. Lindsay wouldn't be. Okay, yeah, Lindsay. Where's she been? Tater in the house. No, Lindsay.
She's on the couch.
No Tater.
She's on the couch.
Steel Loyal says you might get bean juice on you. Mark Malone says should have been talking about Magnum. Jamie says Climbs hates the Steelers like Tater does. Tater says Taft banged Jamie's mama a year ago. That's why he don't like me. Tater says there's a 7% chance I'm his papa. You know, it's funny when Tater talks about your parents, it's not funny because he says words like papa. Your mummy is so ugly.
Then he put us out. Your papa.
Your
papa.
I thought you was going to watch soccer. Let's go here. Still Loyal says this. He says, Kimes learning about the X's and O's is like seeing a teacher outside of school. It's just weird. It doesn't feel right. Jamie says this. No, I like to open hands, slap your ass, though. Let's go to RB. At least Rossini has those massive sweater cows to keep you distracted, and you won't hear what she says. I like those sweater cows. I got a couple more, Mike, but let me jump into another topic here as time is scooting by rather quickly here to end this week out. To be honest, Mike, this was something that happened over the weekend. I'm sorry. Earlier in the week, of course, Darius Slay has got himself in a little bit of a tiff here in Pittsburgh with a former Steeler, of course, Ike Taylor. You remember how that all played out? I think I have the whole situation in front of me. Perhaps I could pull up and right here. So back at the beginning of the week, Mike, of course, it was talked about by Darius Slay. It was whenever they were doing the grading for the cornerbacks, and Joey Porter Jr. didn't make the list. So Darius Slay makes some comments and a little derogatory toward Ike Taylor. Ike Taylor makes this comment on Twitter saying, glad I wasn't in the era for biting the bait and talking about the same side of the ball teammate. Basically going off of what he said, Mike, this is what Darius said in reaction. He said, I don't know what's wrong with Buddy acting like someone said something negative, and he refers to him as being soft, Mike. Darius Slay referring to Ike Taylor as being soft is the latest thing that's being said.
Yeah, Ike Taylor couldn't catch a football, but Ike Taylor soft? No, Ike Taylor was one of the most physical corners since Rod Woodson in the NFL, since people like Night Train Lane and Mel Blount. So to call Ike Taylor soft is kind of funny.
Absolutely. I'm trying to pull it up right here. Okay, here it is. Ike Taylor says this in response. He says, on site note, Peace Treaty, we already talk over the line about the code and I'm going to keep it sensitive regarding the Steelers. And then this is where Darius Slay comes back and he says, the hell are you talking about? You over there sensitive as hell, ain't you? So I could see this going on for at least a little while longer, Mike. That just the way that last comment went doesn't seem like Ike Taylor's probably just going to stop talking. Tyrone, Ike is a beast. I couldn't agree with you more.
Real quick, I got something for Tyrone since he's back.
Yeah.
So I don't know if anyone has heard like the explosive diarrhea is going around. There's like a parasite. Don't worry, Taco Bell got your back. They've removed lettuce, guacamole, pico de gallo, and onion from several locations to stop spreading this parasite, Tyrone. So you are good. You can eat your Taco Bell without risk of explosive diarrhea on top of the explosive diarrhea you're already getting from the Taco Bell.
You know what? Once I read that article, I read that yesterday, and I went out last night and I got Taco Bell. I thought I got to try this out. I have to see if it's true or not.
Yeah.
But they went on and on about this diarrhea, and they took everything out. And yeah, I did. I went
popped up. I was over on Twitter trying to find something for the show, and then I saw that, and I immediately thought of Ty.
Ty, don't worry, dude. I literally went after I read this, and I'm fine as of right now, at least. So again, I swear you, not. I did 100%.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That one made me chuckle a lot. I'm putting that one on screen.
All right. I said to Mike, let's hurry up and get through these last two. Mike starts talking about recipes and
I'm sorry. I'm excitable. You knew this coming into the episode.
All right. Let's see what everybody's saying. Let's go right here. I'm going to go to Corey. Corey says, hold up. I had a team meeting to go to just now. Saw this idiot saying soccer is real football. So you don't think football is even a superior sport, and you have an opinion U.S. Football team. You know what? He calls him a dipshit. At the end of the day, again, I don't know what to make of Tater. But listen, I don't think that it's weird that he likes soccer better. I mean, if you're from that West country or those West countries, you're going to like the West sports. I would assume. But that's just my assumption. Let's go here to Corey. Corey says this also at RB. scooting on me here a little bit. Let's go here. RB, Kimes looks like an AI sex robot that nobody would want to hit and sell it used.
I'd hit it and never resell it.
Vegas says mom jokes are new in Ireland. Especially because he's still calling them mom jokes. You know what I mean?
Mom jokes, your mommy.
They were your mama jokes in the early 90s, and he's just now getting around to it. Let's go here to Ty. Yes, shake my head. Fuck Slay in them rankings. Steele says, Somber, you from UK? Somber is from LA, not UK. Steel Loyal says calling Ike Taylor soft is like calling Miles Garrett small.
Right.
Corey says Ike would still knock him the fuck out. You got knocked the fuck out. Let's go here to Ty. Ty says Taylor was a beast. He sure was. Tyrone says, okay, good news. Thanks, Mike. Let's go Steel Loyal. He says Tyrone would eat it anyways. He don't give a fuck. Let's go to Corey. Corey, don't drink that. Says a diarrhea explosion is just another word for colon cleanse. Tater says, why do you call it football? You throw the ball, numpty. Let's go to Tyrone. See, this is what I'm saying. If you're asking questions like that. Anyway, all right, Tyrone. He says, yeah, I'm eating Taco Bell regardless. Hey, I took a month off, and I only had once. I have been taking a break. Yes, get back at it, dude. I went and got my cheesy gordita crunches. They were just fine. And finally, let's go right here. Steel Loyal says Tater is my favorite opportunity.
Favorite op.
For real, motherfucker is fun as fuck to mess with. And Christopher says, your mama jokes can be insulting. It used to be called the dozens. So here's a clean one. Your mama's so poor, she put Kool-Aid on layaway. Let's go to Corey. Corey says, this Tater, why would you think I know why they call it football and it's pronounced football in the countries where they're actually good at soccer? Jamie says, still loyal. You glad you like him. Me, not so much. And Tater says, we invented football. Not real football.
Hey, you guys haven't won a World Cup since then. You've come as close as we have, brother. Harry Kane ain't getting it done.
You're doing real good. Corey says, I would assume it's called football because you run with the ball. And finally, Steel Loyal says, Jamie, just hate him enough for the both of us. And we will keep the show balanced, laugh out loud. And finally, Mike, our final topic of the day. It's no lie. It's true. It's been brought up, of course, on the board, and you're seeing it. Jaquan Brisker and Aaron Donald, a couple of pretty good football players from Western Pennsylvania. Of course, Aaron Donald being from Penn Hills and Pitt, and will certainly be in the Hall of Fame soon. Mike, they get together to have a little talk about football, in-depth conversation about football study and levels in the NFL. Very, I like the fact, Mike, that again, one guy went to Pitt, one guy went to Penn State. The fact that two guys could sit down for the good of the Steelers to make it happen, it warms my heart. It really warms my heart. We struggle every day between Mike and myself.
I know.
I'm the Pitt guy. He's the Penn State guy. I can hardly talk to him. But again, to see a couple of guys getting along, Mike, to talk about things, to make things better, and hopefully make Brisker a better football player. I like this, Mike. This is go ahead, start your comment on that.
I was going to say, when I saw those two working together, and like you were saying, the Pitt Penn State thing, it reminded me of the riots, Rodney King riots from the Crips and the Bloods, unified, had the bandanas together. That's what I thought when I saw those two there. It was nice to see the two schools come together, but it was also nice the mental aspect of football that Brisker was picking Aaron Donald's brain for. I like that, not just like, hey, how this pass rush move, that pass rush move. No, like the concepts of football and like all three phases of defense. I liked that. That shows like Brisker's a smart guy, an intelligent guy. And that's what I want on the back end of my defense.
I know a lot of people are excited about Brisker. I know a lot of people have questions about the safety room. A lot of people thinking that we're kind of thin overall at safety, Mike, but I think that we're going to be okay. Brisker, of course, Mike, he comes out and says this. He says, the system fits me a lot better. I really like playing here, and I already feel more comfortable in Pittsburgh. So, again, Off-season talk is off-season talk. Again, we see this every year. Everybody's excited to play for Coach D. Everybody's this. Everybody's that. Everybody wants to be this. And then once you come into the season, a couple things don't go your way. Then it's like, the Steelers. I don't like the way this guy did this. So again, off-season talk is one thing. I'm ready to see everybody play in the regular season. But as of right now, Mike, and that's all we have to work with is off-season talk and such. Brisker does say the system does fit him a lot better, and he already feels more comfortable.
I love it. Love it.
Absolutely. Let's get back on the board, and then we're going to start to get ready to head into the question of the day. Let's go here. Still loyal, Jamie. We did get that one. Tater, I need intelligent people to debate with. Yet he continues to show up here and lose the debates.
I know. I think he's a masochist.
Let's go here. Let's go to Tyrone. Tyrone says this. He says, I'm off, motherfuckers. Great show, you bastards. Thanks, Mike. I'm going to Taco Bell, ordering everything, dude. Yeah, get everything, please. You're going to be just fine. Thank you, my man. As always, Ty, have a great day. Stay safe. We'll see you on Monday. Steel Loyal says, stay away from the mirrors, Tater. The mirrors. Here we go with the Rockets. Love to see it, my man, Ty. Brisker, number 3, all day. Have a great one, dude. Corey says this, Tater, fun fact, when you don't understand anything around anything anyone around you is saying, it might be a you problem and not a we problem. Soccer is football. Football is gridiron. End the debate. Thanks. Yeah, in another country. Who the hell gives up?
Just way to make American football sound even more badass.
I know. Gridiron. Yeah, I want you to start referring it to as gridiron, Tater. Let's continue. Let's go right here to Steel Loyal. Soccer is football, but I really don't have a problem with football being called a gridiron either. And you know what? They call French fries chips over there. So who cares?
They call cookies biscuits.
Biscuits. And, I'm not going to have this argument with somebody that calls a French fry a chip. Let's move forward though. Let's go right here to Corey. Corey says you can't have an intelligent conversation with us because we've dumbing down everything for you since you got here, friend or mate. Jamie says, Tater, you're a pussy that would never talk your shit in person. Intelligence. Let's continue down. Vegas says this Taco Bell was high society and demo. Vegas, yes, thank you. I say this still in real life, in real conversations with people. When we talk about the world and the future and the way things are turning and how Taco Bell won the franchise wars and was the only place left, the only fast food place, I still bring this up in real talk. People think I'm fucking nuts. Tater gets me. I'm not Tater. Vegas gets me. Tater don't get me. Vegas gets me.
Man, how you almost the smart?
Because I'm looking at the messages and
I know. Oh, trust me, I know how it goes.
Well, then why'd you question?
I don't know, because you're throwing shade at Vegas somehow.
I'm not throwing shade at Vegas. I'm going to throw shade at you. Let's go to Corey. Corey says this. He says, I give credit where credit is due. Gridiron ball would be a cool name. Somber says footy. Footsie's Steel Loyal says. Steel Loyal says that's what it's called from now on. Tater says that. Jamie, why the hate, bruh? Steel Loyal says, Tater, I think you and Jamie are going to have to box. Steel Loyal says he'll be the ref. Mike, I'd like to see that, but I also like to see a little bit about this website. I want to tell everybody about it.
The2dumyinzers.com. Check it out, everyone. You know what's over there. We got articles galore over there. We got all of our social media links over there. We got, what else do we have over there? Oh, yeah, we got the merch store over there where one day you might see the new Shush shirt, which, I have a prototype design. Anyone want to take a look at it?
Yeah, throw it up.
Let's take a look, ski. Let's take a look, ski, right here.
Oh, I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
I don't like what you're standing behind me, how that looks, but in theory, it's a good idea.
Yeah, because you're turning away from me. You're shushing me.
It looks like you're grabbing me from behind.
Hey, I've seen that ass.
Oh, hey. But no, okay, it's good. We'll work with that.
Yeah. Like I said, it's a mock-up. It's a prototype.
No, I like it.
You will get the real shirt out there into the public.
I like it. Good job, man. Go check out the website, everybody. www.d2dumyinzers.com. That's www.d2dumyinzers.com. Yeah, Mike has this infamous bear hug that he does from behind to people and just kind of.
And I point at you as I hug you.
Just trying to get to the prize, that infamous third nipple I have going on here.
The third nipple, the third testicle.
Yeah. I'm like Nikola Tesla. The number 3 is very important to me. Let's go right here.
This motherfucker just said he's like Tesla.
Let's continue on. Nikola Tesla, big fan of the number 3. Big fan of the number 3. Let's continue down here a little bit. Let's go to, and nobody quite knows why, but you know what? He had things figured out.
He did have things figured out.
You know what? Corey could probably really get into that. Maybe that'd be something good for him to do. Let's go right here. Let's talk about some boxing, Mike. Corey says it's still, I want to box, though. Can I box one of you guys just to do it? LOL. Vegas says it's already 100. I need all the shade I can get. That's 82 here, man. I don't envy you. Try to keep cool, bro. Jamie says this because you talk much shit. Plus, I'm having a day that pussies like you tend to piss me off. Let's go to Steel Loyal. He says this. Hell yeah, Corey, I'm down. You know what? If you do it, we should do it. Only if there's a way. I mean, one of you are in North Carolina, and the other's in the Midwest. But that would be great for the show. I would love to host a boxing event on the show. I think that could be fun. Jamie says, please. He says, I'll do it. Steel Loyal says this, but he says that's a badass graph. You know, that is cool. Very nice. Let Ryan cook. Vegas says. Sommer says, ayo. Steel Loyal says Ryan had to make it raunchy. Well, I mean, I just look at it. I see Mike's guy standing directly behind me and putting his arm like he's getting ready to grab my arm to kind of get I don't know. It's nice. It's nice. I like it. No means no. No means no. Vegas says, oh, damn, now it's getting weird. Jamie says, or grapple or wrestling or Muay Thai, any of those I'll be down for. Let's go to right here. Let's go. Corey says that Jamie, I don't know martial arts, but I'm down to learn. Might unlock some. Jason Bourne shit laughed my ass off. Ty says, oh yeah, Max all day. Connor washed. Somber says this. Mike Somber says, show me on Derpy where Tater touched you. Let's go here. Vegas says this. If you have a UFC gym in your city, go there, and as they have classes on all the different martial arts. Corey says, oh yeah, Tesla was really big into the 369. Yes, 369. Damn, girl. Fine frequency. It has a lot to do with the placement of pyramids, and the pyramids emit free energy, and that's why he was killed. And yes, I agree with you 100%. I would love. I'm not sure if you have any stuff about Tesla up, but I would love to watch it if you do. Vegas says Connor hasn't won in 6 years, and that was against Cerrone. Let's go here to Corey. Corey, don't drink that, says, and his research was stolen by John Trump. You're right. The grandfather in the CIA. That information was all taken in later, being said it was useless. Let's just get rid of everything that Tesla did, is what we were told happened. So again, who knows what the hell's going on. Jamie Carlos says Carson Gracie, member for a very long time. Steel Loyal says Max going to overwhelm Connor. Steel Loyal also says laugh my ass. Who said that? Fact. Steel. Jamie says this. Vegas says 1 win in the last 10 years for McGregor, unless you count his fight versus the old man in the bar. Somber said I did count that. Let's continue down at the very bottom. Let's go to Corey. Corey said I talked about Tesla in my Baron Trump time. Okay, you know what? Yes, you're absolutely right. You didn't. Maybe that's where it sparked in my mind to even talk about it, to be honest with you. And then finally, Vegas says the pyramids are tombs, not batteries. I just wish somebody would let everybody on the same page so everybody can figure these answers out together. But you know humans, you know what we do. So let's do something, Mike. Let's talk about this trivia question. We talked about Aaron Donald most recent. So this can be a question about Aaron Donald today. Not a Steeler, but he's a Yinzer. He's from Penn Hills. He did go on to play at Pitt, had a Hall of Fame career in the NFL. So let's make today a little bit about Aaron Donald, Mike, as we get into the question of the day. Put your thinking caps on. Everybody put your thinking caps on. Mike, put yours on. Here's the question of the day. It's an easy one, albeit it is about our Aaron Donald. Here we go, Mike. True or false? True or false? Aaron Donald holds Pitt's sack record. True or false? Aaron Donald holds Pitt's sack record. Take a minute to think that over. We're live 5 days a week right here, Monday through Friday, 11:30 a.m. to 3 o'clock p.m. every day right here on the Tube.
On Tube.
Again, guys, question of the day. Aaron Donald holds Pitt's sack record. True or false? Throw your guess up. Maybe you might know it. Maybe you don't. And maybe you're just going to take a guess. You have a 50-50 chance. I'm going to promise you it's not anything else. It's true or false. The question is, does Aaron Donald hold Pitt's sack record? Mike, what's your thought process?
Man, he was a damn good college player. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go false.
Okay.
False. But I know he's damn good out there.
Is that's your final answer? False. So I can lock you in.
Locked in.
Locked in on false. Gotcha. So Aaron Donald is not the all-time sack record holder at Pitt. All right, I'll leave it up here another moment or so. If anybody else wants to throw up their guesses, maybe they may know it. Who knows? Perhaps they can. Or they will. Let's go right here. Steel Loyal says that's not what Somber meant, but it's much funnier that way. Tyrone says I predict Max KO round 3. Vegas says if the Guggenheim Museum comes to your city with their Egyptian presentation, you have to go. I would like that very much, actually. Vegas says this and go to their Titanic Exhibit 2. Finally, Corey says this. He says, at Vegas, agree to disagree. If you want to take some time off the show to email back and forth, I can tell some stuff that would make you think otherwise. I don't have the time to do it on here. And Somber says the all-time sack holder is Bonnie Blue. That's, you know what, that's borderline game ball today. I'm going to throw another one out, too. Of course, Somber with his Bonnie Blue comments. Vegas says there's no proof that the pyramids were anything more than tombs, but I've heard that BS for decades. Steel Loyal says Maya Khalifa is close in second, though. Finally, false. Tyrone is saying on the answer, Mike Ty is agreeing with you. He's saying it's false. Question of the day, true or false today, guys? Aaron Donald holds Pitt's sack record. True or false? Throw your answer up or give you just another moment. We will get that answer out here. And as far as the pyramids go, I've never been there. I've always been taught that they were just tombs. I mean, that's what the school system teaches you. Beyond that, I don't know, but I'm certainly very interested in people's takes on that. Just Learning as well, saying false as well. Mike, all falses so far. Corey says, okay, Vegas, I respect your opinion. If you change your mind, hit me up. I would just recommend go checking everything out he does. You might find something that you like over there. Don't drink that right here on YouTube. Here we go, guys. Question of the day. True or false? Aaron Donald holds the Pitt's sack record. Mike, he has more sacks in Pitt football history than anybody else. Because the question, true or false? You said false. Just Learning said false. Tyrone said false. Mike, but the question, yes, it's false. That's correct, guys. He is not the all-time sack holder, as Aaron Donald had 29 and a half sacks at Pitt. Mike, the all-time leader, Hugh Green, had 49 sacks back in 1980 as he came second place in the Heisman race back in 1980. Hugh Green, 49 sacks. Aaron Donald, 29 and a half sacks. Yeah. And again, second place in the Heisman voting in 1980, Hugh Green. So that was correct, guys. Great job on the question of the day. Let me grab a couple more of these, Mike, as the board is
eating up.
It's eating up. Corey says, okay, we got that. Just Learning, it was underneath the pyramid. Just Learning says that. Vegas says, just like the election was stolen and Dawn had a mountain of evidence, yet didn't bring any. You know what? The political world's just it's a disaster. And I'm just gonna make one comment. No, I'm not. Yes, I am. No, I'm not. Yes, I am. They're all as bad as the other. That's all I'm gonna say. I wouldn't trust one side of these idiots over the other for nothing. Even though if you agree with one side and the politics more, these people were fucked up people. One side had the Epstein files for a long time, and they could have used them to keep the other side from getting elected, but that didn't happen. They're all together. A lot of questions come back to, you know what? It's they're all fucked up. Fuck them. Let's move along here. Let's go to Steel Loyal. He says this. They say the earth is flat. It's not. It's a dinosaur. The earth is a dinosaur. Let's go here to no such thing as a dinosaur. Just Learning says. Corey says you guys are goofy. Steel Loyal says the moon is haunted. Corey says this in the best way. Jamie says, need a shirt of me choking Tater. Need a shirt of me choking Tater.
I might be able to work on that.
Vegas says this. It's not an opinion. It's facts. What you are saying is an opinion and one with zero variable proof. Just Learning says all dinosaurs in museums are fake. Let's fucking go. Big Mike Ty says that. Tyrone says JPJ is in the Epstein files. Ay. Don't get that.
Tortilla coming in hot.
Tortilla, my man. Always great seeing you, sir. I'm just saying, there's a lot of questions that if you really look at it, all these people were guilty. Both sides, up, top, bottom. There's a lot of fucking guilty people involved, and they're all covering each other's asses while making it seem like they're going at each other. And it's making us fight, but none of these people are going to jail. None of these people are being held accountable for anything. Everybody in politics is walking free, despite all the bullshit they pull all the time. They're all on the same team. Don't trust the system, guys. Let's go here to Vegas. Vegas says the FBI doesn't release information when investigations are going like they were when Joe was POTUS. Also, Vegas says that's why Joe didn't release them. Joe had, there's a lot of people in Congress, and it certainly would have, and it had nothing to do with the guy that sits atop. It really doesn't. Let's continue here, and then we are going to get ready to wrap things up. Just learning 13 families run the world. Corey says, okay, Vegas, it's all good. Steel Loyal blames Ryan Seacrest, and I think we could all learn from that. If we all blame Ryan Seacrest and stop believing the government and their bullshit they're feeding you, I think we become a better nation for it. Let's get ready to wrap things up here for the day. Mike, your thoughts today's show?
Oh my God, yeah, Patty Fry. Just outside the top 10, I agree with that. In honorable mentions, yeah. I can't wait to see what McCarthy's going to cook up for him in this offense. I think next year he might be knocking on the door of top 10. And Ike Taylor, go knock out Darius Slay.
You know what? As far as I'm concerned, as far as Patty Fry goes, I mean, he has to move up the list this year because, again, I mean, if he's just even a little bit more involved in the offense by default, Mike, he's going to have to be somewhere up a little bit because, again, he was just neglected certainly over the past few seasons. And, again, if he's just involved to some degree more than he was in theory, he should move up. So let's hope that's the case. I think some of these people probably didn't belong on this list, but, hey, that's just my opinion. Vegas says, I know it's all good. I'm saying things are verifiable. All good in the hood, man. I do want to say these few things, Mike, before we do get ready to wrap things up for the day. I do want to say we'll be back first thing on Monday to get back at it again. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of next week, guys. And then Wednesday will be the 1000th show, which then we will then go on break after that. So after Wednesday, will be Thursday through the following week, and then back on Monday of the week that camp does start. So that is how our summer break is going to play out. So we'll be back Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then we'll be back on Monday before camp. So that's the way things are going to go moving forward. Mike, we do have camp starting on the 28th. That's when everybody shows up. Camp itself actually starts on the 29th. On the 3rd of August is when they're going to start wearing pads. On the 8th of August, it's going to be Saturday Night Lights. And on the 17th, they wrap up camp, which coincides with the week that they play the Packers, which, guys, is going to be a month and 3 days away from right now. So, a month and 3 days ago, it wasn't that long ago, Mike, a month and 3 days from now, we're going to be playing the Green Bay Packers right here in Pittsburgh for the kickoff the preseason, and also 65 days. That's right, just 65 Dan Moore Jr. days.
Dan Moore.
From the kickoff between the Atlanta Falcons and the Pittsburgh Steelers right here at Acrisure Stadium. Guys, we're so close. I can taste it. And you know what? You can tell that everyone's getting kind of chippy. Mike, as the regular season is coming to a close, you can tell everybody's ready for football.
Oh, I can't wait.
You could tell that, everybody's kind of got a little chip on their shoulder. And, again, everybody kind of has it right now. So you got to know, you got to feel it's some kind of vibe. We're all ready for our football. Yeah. We're all ready for the Steelers. So come on, let's get here. Mike, let me go to the next thing I'm going to say. Then let's go right here to it is summer. It is hot. We are enjoying our sports. There's a lot of sports going on. And if you want to take a little buzz, maybe take the edge off of everything, guys, do stop and get yourself some Duquesne Pilsner. Duquesne Pilsner, Mike, now available in 6-packs at Giant Eagle and 12-packs at Giant Eagle, and also wherever cases are sold. You could get your Duquesne Pilsner. Mike, the people there always help us out and do good things for us. We ask that you do the same for them. Perhaps you're not even a big drinker. That's okay. Go to their social media, hit the like, hit the follow them, and they will appreciate that just as much. We have, Mike, in our studio, Duquesne Pilsner for every event that comes along. Delicious beer made right here in Western PA in Pittsburgh, and it says on the can, grab a Duke.
Grab a Duke.
Let's see. Also, guys, check us out on social media as well while you're on the internet. We are all over the place. You can check us out on Facebook, formerly known as Twitter, Instagram, Threads, even TikTok. Swing by, hit the follow button, keep up with what's going on with the Two Dumb Yinzers on a day-to-day basis. And finally, if you haven't hit the like button yet today, do hit that like button for us. Hit the like, sub, share, leave a comment. It all helps us out, guys. It pushes the name out through the algorithm and the show for more eyes to see. So we appreciate it greatly. We thank you so much for doing that. Mike, we will be back Monday again, just 3 days to the big 1000th show. Very excited. I know you're pumped about this. And then after that vacation, any how you feeling? I'm mixed on this. I'm kind of a mixed emotion. I'm excited. I'm kind of nervous in a way. You know, did we accomplish what we wanted to accomplish at 1,000 shows? How did things go? How did the process get here? I'm kind of in a
and so it's a weird little spot. And plus, 2, we're taking this will be the longest time, planned longest time we've taken off too.
That's true.
Yeah, but for a while there, we were both like, "Oh my god, we needed it to decompress from doing this, plus our other jobs." You know, like, oh, it's nice to have that break. But then you get to that certain point, the itch, like you're missing it, and then I'm gonna be twitchy. The longer our little break goes, I'm gonna be twitchy. I do too. Chomping at the bit to get back at it.
I do get crazy when we're off. Let's get this right here, Mike. I'm going to grab a couple more messages. Obviously, they're coming in. Vegas says, "Oh yeah," and there are no killer penguins guarding the ice walls. That's holding all the water on the earth. Let's go to this. I get it. Let's go right here. Corey says, "I get it. Just remember, the gatekeepers, are real, and there's information we're allowed to have, and information we're not. I have no need to argue. Yeah, I won't force feed anybody." You know, once I found out that Jelaine Maxwell's dad was the one that owned the book company, that's when I started getting real skeptical, because he's certainly with the wrong crowd, and his people were with the wrong crowd, and they put the books out that every single one of us read for our education to educate us. So just kind of curious. Again, I'm sure everything is okay. Everything's perfect in this world. Let's go right here to Just Learning. I'm with you. Don't. Vegas says, all the stuff you say I've heard for years, and there's still no proof like you seem to think there is. And other things that you can't prove either are proven facts as well that you can never prove, but that's the way we were taught. So we just believe that as well. I'm just saying. You can't prove anything about space. Nothing. You can't prove anything about space, Mike. You can only go by what you're told by the experts.
You mean by all the scientific data?
Yes.
All the science.
You can't. No, the point what I'm saying is you can't prove it. You can't. You could only go by what they tell you.
You can prove it by
No, you can't.
You can't. Getting into that field.
Can you
research?
Something is 93 million light years away. There's no way you can prove that. There's no way you can prove that. I please prove me wrong. Please.
All the scientific data we've had.
What you've been taught, correct. What you've been indoctrinated with is what's out there. And again, listen, I don't want you quitting and leaving the show. So let me finish these messages up. Let's do this so we can finish the show and get to the weekend. Again, yes. Okay, yes. I'm saying yes. I'm just going to agree with whatever because I want to get through this. Let's go right here to Jamie. Jamie says, false. Tortilla says Donald Trump is going to trade JPJ for Diddy. Just Learning said that's a good trade. Vegas says this. The earth isn't flat like the sun isn't 3,000 miles away. The Truman Show, Just Learning says, Tortilla, the earth is a triangle. Corey says this. All things come to light in the end. That's what I'm saying. You don't have to agree with anything I said. You will see. And if I'm wrong, then it is what it is. But it's fun to entertain either way. Christopher says, good fun, fellas. See you on Monday. My man, have a great weekend, sir. Vegas says, no trying to pass a conspiracy thought theory off as real is not good. But some things that are conspiracy theories are coming out proven to be true. So again, I disagree with that. Let's go here to Vegas. He says fake science is not good or entertaining. You guys must think that our way so many people were dumb. I'm just saying things that were conspiracy theories before are now true, so you have to consider this. Also, let's go right here. Corey says, Vegas, I don't know why you're getting so hurt over this, but I'm trying not to argue with you, which I did the same thing with Michael. Let's go here to Tortilla. The Titanic didn't hit an iceberg. It hit an emperor penguin. Vegas, I'm not hurt. I'm laughing at all the ignorance. And again, I don't know. You got to be open, man. At the end of the day, we don't know. Even if all the science indicates that this is a fact, we don't know. I've never been there. Have you been there firsthand? I'm just going to ask you. Let's go here to Somber. Laugh my ass off. Here we go. Vegas says, like I said, I heard all this BS for decades, as we did as well. Let's go right here to just learning the driver shot Kennedy. Corey says, all right, bro, closed-mindedness is more dangerous than questioning. I agree. I think you have to question and be open-minded and go from there. Vegas says this, the stuff you learned in the last couple of years, I've heard for 40 years. Somber idiocracy is upon us. A lot of fire on this board today. I'm liking it as we're heading into the weekend. Vegas open to the pyramids were used to be batteries. Let's go here to just learning, questioning everything Charlie Kirk. So much stuff going on in the world, but obviously we are not a political show. And that is just the way that it is going to be and head into the weekend. I do want to say this. We'll be back Monday at our regular time to get into this all over again, guys. We hope to see everybody then. We do have, Mike, we have the Pirates starting a new series against the Brewers, which is actually a really big series for the Pirates. If they do well in this series against the Brewers, Mike, they could put themselves in a decent position at the break going into the All-Star break beginning of next week. Pirates, Riverhounds back at it tomorrow. That time gets pushed back to 7 o'clock. If you're heading down to see the game, don't forget it's a 7 o'clock start. And the big one, Mike, for us, of course, the DC Divas traveling here to play our Pittsburgh Passion in the National Conference Championship game for the winner to go on to Canton to play in the National Championship here in a couple of weeks, Mike. This game is huge. A big shout out to Makai Chavez for coming by on the show and talking to us this week as she's the former MVP. She's getting ready, and I can tell you, Mike, she is pumped and ready to head into this game. Pittsburgh Passion, DC Divas, huge rivalry in the WFA, guys. They will be on ESPN Plus, and then also they should be on YouTube as well. I'm not for certain, but I do know they're pushing the ESPN Plus, so I'm not sure how that's going to work with rights and things like this. But do check them out if you get the opportunity. Pirates, Riverhounds, Passion. We'll be back Monday to get into this and so much more. Get into these lists, Mike, as they continue to grade the positional rooms. All kind of stuff for us to get into, Mike, as we do wrap up the 1000th show next week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. It's going to be big, guys. We hope to see everybody then. Mike, your thoughts? I'm going to come around. Speak now, forever hold your peace.
I'm kind of disappointed that there are not killer penguins guarding a nice wall somewhere.
Who knows? There might be.
I want me some killer penguins. But no, have a great weekend, everyone. Like I said, my days are all confused from work. Have a great weekend, everyone. I can't wait to come back on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I'm pumped for this 1000th episode, boys. I'm like giddy right now.
Let's see, guys still going at it. I don't know. Let me see if I'm going to grab a few of these before we roll. Vegas open to the pyramids. We're using batteries. I mean, the thing is that the fact of the matter is, at the end of the day, you don't know. You don't. You know, is there any way to confirm or deny that? There's not. Nobody lets you around the pyramids to do that shit. You got to get permission. So anyway, at the end of the day, I mean, that's all, of course, off topic. Just learning, question everything. Charlie Kirk, don't drink that. You do you, brother. Vegas says this. I always do. That's why I don't fall for all this fake stuff. And again, the conspiracy theories that do come out to be true, again, you have to at least consider, in my opinion. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just saying. No disrespect. Corey says this. Tortilla says, on the bright side, we are arguing about something other than JPJ. Corey, okay. Vegas, did your Bigfoot went fishing with caught Nessie? Jamie says, thank you, guys. See you Monday. Don't drink that nice. I'll look into it. Just learning. Mike at the gay gala. Everybody Tortilla says, I heard Bigfoot was in space. You never know what the hell is out there. You can only know. And here's the thing. Just remember, all the facts you know were all stuff that was given to you. We literally did none of this for ourselves. It was all stuff taught to us. So you got to consider that as well. Guys, I think that is everything for us for the day. We'll be back on Monday at our regular time to get into all this and much, much more. We can't wait to be back, Mike, to get through episodes 9899 and 999 and 1000. Thank you so much, everybody, for hanging with us all week. Again, slowest week of the year. We appreciate you for being here with us, guys. As always, we can't wait to see everybody on Monday. For Derpy, for Finch, for Chop, for RB, for Mike, myself, the two Dum Yinzers. Everybody have a great weekend, and we'll see you on Monday. Peace and love, peace and love, peace and love. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.